here tonight. Special KOF shout out to the homeboys at Dream Cancel. You know.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Dream Cancel podcast, and this is episode 95 of Dream Cancel Live. My name is Desmond, the administrator of DreamCancel.com. On tonight's show, we have a fair amount to talk about. We have something to address, but at the same time, we're gonna build as much as we can. Title of the show is "I Play KOF Because." Is a hashtag going out. We're gonna talk about the recent King of Fighters 14 article that was published by EventHubs. We're going to talk about and some other things that have been going on. But yeah, this is episode 95, Dream Cancel Live. I want to thank everyone for tuning in with us. And before we get into anything, we got to introduce our discussion panel for tonight. Let's start off with, we got Andres, Nothing XS. Are you there, man?
Yes, I am. What's up?
Good to have you. Good to have you. If you could, you've been on here before, but for the people that don't know who you are, you can give a very, very brief introduction if you could.
My name is Andres. I have been playing KOF basically since the beginning, but I've only ever tried being good at it since maybe 2002 or 2003, since I came to the United States. I come from Mexico. I have been involved with Evo probably since like 2008 as a volunteer, and most recently, I am the head tournament organizer of Evo, and I have very much pulled and tried to get KOF as much attention as it can in that regard at that tournament. And also, I am the head tournament organizer to some degree at Combo Breaker and CEO.
All right, yeah, man, you are a OG, if I could say it.
Yeah,
you have.
If you notice, I don't talk about anything about how good I am, and that's because I'm not.
Yeah, you definitely have way more time in the community than myself and a lot of other people. So, much respect. Good to have you on.
Thanks for having me.
All right, second, we have NBMTG Mexican.
Hey, how's it going?
How you doing, sir?
Pretty good.
Cool. Good to have you on. Congrats to your Yumecon 2017 King of Fighters 14 tournament win.
Thank you.
Cool. All right, and next up we have Temple Nut, or Nuts Temple, or whatever I like to call you. Are you there, man? Do I need to unmute you? Temple Nut.
Hello, my name is Temple Nut, and I'm a KOF player. Just started with KOF 14, and also play like Uniel and Call Girls and Field. How everybody doing?
All right, cool. All right, y'all. So yeah, this is a discussion panel so far. We're gonna have people dropping in and out. So I don't know how things are gonna go. It might be crazy. It might be cool. But yeah, let's just like wing it. Let's just like go for it. For right now. So yeah, I want to thank all y'all for joining. For everyone that's watching, if you could please share the link on Twitter, on Facebook, on Google Plus, MySpace if you're still using it. Any like way that you can
MySpace, Jesus Christ.
Any way that you can just like share this link to let people know that we are live right now. We're gonna talk about many things regarding the article and many things. KOF.
All right, let me just
go ahead.
Let me just put the podcast in my top 8 real quick. Hold on. I mean, we're talking MySpace here. Let's just let me put you on my top 8 real quick.
It's the Twitch link, right?
Yeah, it's the Twitch link. Yeah.
Okay. Let's make sure.
And also, man, there's like a fair amount to talk about, but. Yeah, before we get into any of that, let's do promo plugs, tournament announcements, a little bit of housekeeping. So here we go right here. Let me change this. All right, cool. Here we go. You get Dream Cancel t-shirts at dreamcancel.com/shop. join us in the Dream Cancel Discord server. We have a link to that. It should be somewhere below the video screen box if you're on Twitch, or if you watch the replay on YouTube, it should be somewhere in the description section. Play King of Fighters 98 Ultimate Match Final Edition, King of Fighters 2002 Unlimited Match, and King of Fighters 13. They're all on Steam. At the top of the month, there was a sale for all these 3 games, including KOF 14. And man, yeah, that sale was it was pretty good on Steam. They always have these like really good Steam sales, so keep on the lookout for Steam sales for KOF games or SNK games as a whole. The games can get fairly affordable, more affordable than what the games already are like right now. And also, you know what? I might have to do a separate podcast about this, but it kind of seems that nowadays people, they're kind of like playing 13 again. Anybody kind of notice that?
Dude, I have like 4 or 5 people wanting to play 13.
Yeah.
New. And I'm happy.
Right.
I am so bad at 13.
Me
Me
too.
too.
So bad.
Yeah, at a high level, that game stresses me out, but it still is fun, you know, to play the game for like almost like 5 years straight. But yeah, it seems that people are kind of like picking it back up. I saw Alfonso, Habiki Takane on Twitch. He was playing with Reynolds online, and I was like, oh man. So
you're talking about Alfonso Lewis, right, from Orlando?
Yeah, Alfonso, yeah.
Yeah. I just call him Zo.
Yeah. Yeah, he was playing with Reynolds online. So, yeah, it seems like people are kind of like itching to bring the game back in some degree or fashion.
And at our weekly at the arcade, we've been playing 13 exclusively. We haven't even been playing 14.
Okay.
Yep.
How people have been
like some of us are now. Well, some of us are now for competitive reasons, but when it comes to just enjoying a King of Fighters and it's fun to play, we've just been playing 13.
Right. Okay. What's their reception to the game compared to 14? Like, how do they like it?
I guess they appreciate how hard it is, and they're just now playing it more for fun. And then me and a lot of the guys who have been playing are actually playing. We're playing all new characters we never touched when we were playing it competitively. So even though the skill gap is definitely there still, they have a lot more fun with it, and they understand that they appreciate it more, I guess, nowadays.
Okay. Very interesting. So yeah, if you really love King of Fighters 13 or any other KOF game, go ahead and play it. Like, you know, just go for it, go for broke. All right, let's keep things moving. Shout outs to Kings of Colorado. Casey Pedro should be joining us fairly soon. Donate to dreamcancel.com at dreamcancelsnk@gmail.com. Shouts to good peoples at orochinaji.com and the app, the King of Data 14 app, which is Frame Data. I just noticed that says Frama. F-R-A.
Frama. Yo, it does, doesn't it?
Yo, Frama Data? Yo, we in here.
Yo,
I should probably use that Frame Data app since I never look at Frame Data for this game.
Man, I never noticed that typo. But
all right, listen. That's the only typo. The frame data is good. It's sourced properly.
Yes.
You should check it out.
Yes, it's very good. Yeah. And
the one typo? That's good.
Yeah, and it has guides, like really, really good written out guides for characters in KOF 14. So I strongly suggest people to check it out. Download it on their smartphone. Download it on their iOS and Android devices. Very, very good. I strongly recommend it. And there's like links to the Dream Cancel wiki for King of Fighters 14. So go ahead and check that out. What else we have? Shouts to the King of Fighters Reddit.
Yo, there's a KOF Reddit?
Yeah.
See, I always have to tell people that there is one, and I once was like, does anyone actually go to it? And they got mad at me, so I tried getting as many people over to it as possible. So I tried to do my part. So yes, KOF Reddit is reddit.com/r/King of Fighters.
I didn't know that there was a KOF Reddit. Yo.
I think just KOF is the correct one, but I think if you go to /King of Fighters, it redirects you to KOF. I could be wrong.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's a good Reddit, man. Yeah, I do remember that too. But it was like at their like kind of start, you know, they really didn't get that, you know, much traffic, but it looks like they're getting a fair amount of readers and people posting and contributing things there. So yeah, I think it's a pretty good place.
I'll definitely have to check it out then.
Shout outs to Gatterai's tweet, his hashtag KOF because tweet. I like it. I play KOF because I can enjoy diversity. Tons of characters, stories, system, and music. Plus, I can communicate with many people by transcending race, region, gender, etc. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I need to make me one of those.
All right, let's keep going. Shout outs to Game Goons. If I clearly recall, they will be streaming tomorrow. It says 5 p.m. Pacific time. They'll be playing KOF and talking about KOF tomorrow. I hope that still stands. But shout outs to Game Goons. We're going to have our next King of Fighters 14 Party Battle Mode event this Sunday, which is the 12th. Sunday the 12th. Going to start at, what time should we start? 5 p.m. Central Time, which is...
Those are always fun.
Yeah, I really enjoy the battle party battle mode events, and they're a lot of fun.
I always go in there picking random select. It's super fun that way.
Yeah, and it's a good way for beginners to, you know, try out one character. You know, I mean, the thing is, if you lose, and you know, you're gonna have to wait. But it's
yeah,
it's always a lot of fun to do this mode. So yeah, it's gonna be streamed at this channel. So just stay tuned. Shouts to Kick Punch Block. Also, shout outs to the SNK Esports support team. So they announced now that they're going to be supporting all SNK fighting games, not just KOF.
I like how they have Guy Tendo there to remind you that you might be seeing him soon over on the right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So how do you guys feel about that? The whole like kind of switch.
About the switch to the SNK Esports program?
Yeah.
That's them signaling that they're going to make a game that's not KOF, and they would like it to be supported by them. Like, they want to let you know that they're going to be supporting any tournaments you run for it.
Right.
So basically, that rumor about Neo Geo Battle Coliseum 2 suddenly sounds a lot closer to reality than it did at first. Right. Which, by the way, I would play the crap out of that game.
Oh, yeah,
that game is going to be godlike. I don't care what anyone says. I still play the first.
Right. The first one on PS2 was really good. I didn't like the 360 version as much, but I like the PS2 version.
I mean, it's basically the same.
I think the 360 version's ugly, but that's just me. It looks like it looks like KOF 12.
You can just turn off the filters.
Okay. All right. Let's keep things moving forward. What was this? Oh, it's just the health values now. So yeah, just remember these
definitely the health values.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to KOF 14's health values. Honestly, shit is fire. I like the fact that Chang is enormous and that everybody else can hold that.
Mm-hmm. All right, and oh yeah. What do y'all think about this image of this character? And
I was so hyped.
Kukri's sister, perhaps?
Yo, Kukri's angrier sister. She's like,
let's be for real. She'll be annoying.
Yo, I will play that character. Yo,
right?
I unrepentantly play Oshurmi in '98.
Oh, you're one of those?
This character's probably my shit. I'm just saying.
Oh man, you're one of those. It's all good though.
Listen, Oshirmi, not a good character. If you're losing to if you're not losing to my Oshirmi, check your footsies home. Like, you got problems. You got bigger problems to deal with.
The only issue with Shermie was her zoning. That's it.
Yeah.
Regular Shermie was so much better.
Yeah.
I don't know. There was some old Shermies, man. They'll make you want to throw your controller out the window. That I played. So.
Yeah, dude. My freaking training partner here that was super good at 98, man.
Right.
That dude's ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's
like he's legit good.
Right. Let's keep things going. Talk about some upcoming and past events. So let's talk about one past event. The King of Fighters 14 online tournament, number 3, and it had $1,000 in cash and prizes, powered by Maturino.
Yo, shout out to Maturino, dude.
That tournament was mad fun. It was so much fun.
I had to back out. My dad came into town and I had to eat, so I had to hang out with my dad. He went to Colombia recently, so I had to hang out with him before he went out of the country.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I've been having some issues being able to join anything online lately, so
right.
Sucks.
Yo, we got to introduce Kenshi, man. Yo, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. You know, just kind of chilling. Joined the podcast kind of late.
Okay, can you for people that don't know who you are, can you give us like a really brief introduction?
I'm just an average run-of-the-mill KOF player from Canton, Ohio, but I do stream quite a bit, and I'm also the home of the 15-hour KOF 14 streams. So if you like watching long KOF 14 streams, come to my channel. Music request gets ridiculous though.
How long did you stream today?
I think it was about 6 hours. I don't know. My sister came over and I had to take her home, or else I would have streamed longer.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sometimes you got to clear up everything for those like all day streams.
Oh yeah. It takes a lot of effort. It didn't help that I slept all day.
Right. But yo, how did you do in the last online tournament?
I technically with all the DQs and everything, I went 5-2, but performance-wise, I went 3-2. I got blown up by Decimo. El Rosa sent him to loser's bracket, and then Decimo went crazy.
Oh god, that sounds like an actual nightmare that I might have. That would wake me up in the middle of the night.
And like, I play with Decimo a lot, and I couldn't even recognize him. He was insane in that tournament.
You're talking to me like that's not his normal setting. Like, what?
No, normally I'm a lot more, tight-knit with, the matchup, but there was nothing I could do against him that day. I was just like, help.
Yeah, he had beast
He
mode,
keeps
like,
tech in
activated.
casuals, man.
Say what?
He keeps tech away in casuals, because I remember playing him at Combo Breaker, and he like if you played him in casuals, he was not doing everything that he has up his sleeve.
He takes off the
he literally keeps stuff away.
He takes off the training weights. He's like Goku. He's like, oh, hold up.
Hold up,
tournament
money. Let's go.
The Tenkaichi Budokai got real. Hold on. Can I take off some of my clothes? Am I allowed to take off some of my clothes? Hold on, let me take off these.
And it drops.
Wristbands, shoes, and it drops. You just hear,
Yeah.
boom.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait,
The whole
how
earth
heavy
shakes.
is this? And he's just like, it's hella heavy.
Yo, his set play is retarded.
Yeah.
Like
It's
it's ridiculous, man. I can't believe it.
Let's
It's
keep things going, and let's talk about. There have been some players in Brooklyn that's been playing King of Fighters 2002, and there's a tournament this Saturday at Brooklyn Video Games in Brooklyn, New York, and I do have a link that I will like to place in the chat stream for people to check it out. Hope this works. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
All right, cool. But yeah, that is man, they've been playing a lot of O2. Have any of y'all been checking that out?
I haven't been watching it personally because me and O2 have a love-hate relationship, but I'm super excited for this tournament. There's a lot of good players there, and I can't wait to watch it.
And I think, all right, if I clearly
not-
recall, it looks like they're playing on cabinets.
Yeah, I saw that.
I think I keep up with that tournament because Pachu's on my friends list and he's constantly talking about them.
Word. Andres, what do you think about this O2 tournament?
O2. Nah, like I can't hate on people who play O2, but God, I so dislike that game. I just don't have any fun playing it. Vanilla O2 is, I like watching some people play it, but I can't. I have issues with the game as a whole, as a complete package. O2 I enjoy more.
Oh, yes.
But
O2 has better graphics, better music, and way better balance.
the music is meh. The graphics are whatever. Like I wasn't playing, KOF O2 because I was expecting it to look pretty. But Vanilla O2 looks to me like the soulless possible game, and it sounds to me like the most soulless possible game they could have made. And its only redeeming quality is that it kind of plays all right, and not really.
I don't think it plays that way. It's a solid game. I feel. Yeah, it's a little on the ratchet side sometimes, but yeah, it's a solid
It's on the ratchet side.
Yeah.
A little on the ratchet side. It's a lot on the ratchet side. O2 music is okay. Yes, O2 music is strictly all right. But like, if you hear Yori's theme and you're telling me that's a good Yori theme, you need to just turn off your computer, just unplug everything, grab your computer, throw it in the lake because you're wrong. You're wrong. And I will die on this hill. I will fall on this sword all day.
My problem with O2 was I played that game a lot on GGPL and Supercade at the time, and let's just say people are not friendly in old KOF, especially to new players.
I mean, people are just rude online in general, right?
Yeah.
Like all the old players are just like out here just trying to find people who are really good, and no one wants to teach anybody anything.
Yeah.
But I feel that's because of like the whole mentality. It's like if you go online to like online services like that, the old school mentality of learning through the fire and the flames is still very much alive, except that it doesn't cost any tokens. So whatever. If they lose, they just get mad at you, and if they beat you, they're still mad at you for some reason. I don't know, man.
Yeah. That's why I don't like O2 as much.
Yeah. All right, let's keep things going with a tournament that is going to go down in September. This is the Las Vegas Championship, 1K pot bonus pot for King of Fighters 14. I will share a link in the description. Not the description, the chat below. Any y'all have any interest in this tournament as far as even just checking it out, viewing it, or anyone thinking about going?
I just wish I could go.
I definitely have interest in it, but I didn't even know about it until after I decided I couldn't even make it to NEC. So it was just how am I supposed to make it to Vegas?
Right. Okay.
I would try to go, but I already said I was going to NEC, so I got to go to NEC.
Speaking of NEC, go ahead, Andres.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought.
Okay. No, I was going to say, speaking of NEC is happening in December too. As a pop bonus as well.
Yeah, I think it's kind of rough when we have multiple tournaments running at the same time. It kind of sucks that the nerds' first attempt, their first thing that they're trying to do, happens to coincide with NEC. Or is close enough, basically. It really, because that a lot of people who like to play fighting games will want to go to NEC almost entirely because it's not just the KOF experience, right? I want to say that there's a bunch of KOF exclusive players, obviously, like Reynold or Decimo, like all the top tier players, or a few of the top tier players, but there's also a few top tier players that, play a lot of stuff, and a lot of those people are probably going to prefer going to an NEC. So I really hope that if there's a slightly lower turnout than what they're expecting, I hope that
they keep
that
going
thing that
with
they're trying to do. Yeah, I hope that they try it again and they don't just throw it away. I hope they understand that their low numbers are they temper that expectation with the fact that they're running the same time as another major tournament where people will travel.
I'm feeling like if you can't, like if you're in that area though, if you're on the West Coast and it's not too much of a drive though, if you can't make it to NEC because you can't afford the plane ticket, I feel like if you're a KOF player that you should at least try to go to the Vegas tournament though.
I mean, yeah, that goes kind of without saying, right? Like if you can't go to NEC and you're anywhere within driving distance of this thing, or you could stay over at like one of these people's houses, you should be going. But a lot of the people from the West Coast, I mean, maybe not a lot of them, but a few people on the West Coast will want to go to NEC for any number of reasons. So you gotta temper your expectations.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. All right, cool. All right, let's keep things going and talk about the tournament that's going to be going down. Was it the esports championship? Anybody know about this one?
I never even heard of it.
You are enlightening me about it right now. It's apparently happening on Saturday at a time that I'm not going to be able to watch it at, and I will have to catch the VOD.
Right. It should be some good gameplay. That's all I know. But yeah, I don't know much else. Anyone in the chat know anything about this event?
I'm not sure, but it looks like the background is from Evo, and that does not look like an Evo tournament.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, actually, that kind of looks like League of Legends a little bit because of the seating.
Yeah, I'm seeing that too.
It reminded me of the Mandalay Bay, so I just was like,
it might be the Mandalay Bay, but it might be the Mandalay Bay. I can't tell because you know what it is. The stage is square. It's not the Evo layout. You know. Oh, it is the Evo layout. Now that I'm looking at it more carefully. God damn it! They used the Evo stage.
Oh wow.
It is the Evo stage. You can see it's like that 3 square. It's the 3 square layout. I'm mad. Yo, Black Rose, call my lawyer. I see you in the chat.
Hey,
I'm sorry, maybe I shouldn't have pointed that out.
Hey, dude, that was like, I didn't even see that, man, for myself. I thought maybe this was like their past event that they decided to take a photograph of. But okay, I'm all right. I mean. All right, let's keep things going. Frosty Faustings X, January 9th, 20th, 2018. King of Fighters 14 will be there. Anybody is going to be in Illinois? Anybody thinking about hitting this up?
I want to try to go to that because Frosty Faustings 9 was my first KOF 14 major. And it was a really fun experience. That's where I met El Rosa and actually met Pedro in real life and stuff like that. So, I also made someone throw a chair. I don't know why he threw the chair. He was just salty, but El Rosa can confirm that.
I may go, but only if I do not go to Evo Japan, because I won't be able to have that much time.
Right. Okay. All right. I think that's kind of it as far as events that I know from my end. Anybody know of any events that I might have missed that's going on between now and like January?
Testing.
Only some local stuff. I think James is trying to.
Yeah, James is trying to get in this call.
Yo.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was me.
How you doing, man?
Nah, we can hear you. It's all fine.
Doing all right. Yeah, I was just talking to a friend of mine. She's in the chat right now. Just trying to get her all set up.
Cool. Good to have you, man. How are you feeling right now?
Sick. Yeah, I actually have been trying to get my computer all fixed and get this new headset fixed up, but didn't work, so I'm using my old one that clicks and swings and stuff.
All right, cool. But yo, just to let everybody know, yeah, this is Reiki Ito, West Coast. Can you confirm your location to the viewers?
Hello, everyone. This is Reiki Keto, and I'm from San Francisco, California.
Hey, San Fran.
All right, cool. Good to have you on, man. You came in right at the right time. We're going to actually get started on the main topic
Before you do that, can I ask if I can bring a special guest in?
Special guest.
I know. Bring the special guest. Who is it?
Her name is EX Top Doll, who is the author of the article that just came out.
Hey, Jenny.
Ooh. Okay,
I love Jenny. I'm super down. I think Jenny is mad cool. Actually, I don't have a problem with her and her writing the article. So
Me either.
I'm super down.
I think a lot of
to hear
people
from
don't. It's just the little things inside, you know. So, I mean, so yeah, go right ahead, man. Yeah, let's do this.
Hey, getting her to join right now. Just give it a minute.
All right, cool.
Hopefully it works. Okay. But yeah, once a guest comes in, you can talk a little bit about that.
Okay, yeah, sounds perfectly fine.
It's been blowing up a lot over Twitter. I thought it would be pretty small, but then it just kind of exploded into an all-day topic.
Hey, I know. I thought it was going to be dead by like late last night, and then I woke up and I'm seeing all these like verses and stuff, man. People drop in like 100, 280 characters and stuff like that. All these stories and stuff, man. Like, I'm seeing good stuff. I'm seeing some bad stuff. I'm like, man, this is crazy. Like,
I just found out about the article today, though, because that's when Desmond told me about it. So I had to search for it and read it while I was at work.
Right.
Yeah, I had to ask someone on the Dream Cancel chat, like, yo, what's this article even?
Right, yeah, because people... all right, we got someone?
I think that's Jenny. Hey, what's up, Jenny?
Hi.
How's it going?
You have a little bit of microphone noise in the back.
Yeah, I'm in the airport actually at the moment.
Oh, wow. All right.
Yeah.
Airport squad.
Yeah, traveling, yo.
Yeah, right.
Cool. What was the destination coming from?
I'm actually coming from Oklahoma. I'm in Denver right now, and I have a layover here, and then I'll be headed to San Francisco.
Hey, you doing work with RB?
I'm not sure. Red Bull, yes, but not for this, not for Tekken World Tour. I'm going to be there for Team Circa. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
All right, cool. Yo, thanks for joining us. We won't take up too much of the layover time. How long is the layover?
I actually probably have to get off probably around like 9:20, just to be safe, because my flight leaves at like 9:50. So
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
but
cool.
I'm here for a short while.
All right,
Nice.
cool. All right, well let's get right into it. So yeah, there's article, and people have expressed feelings about it. A little controversial. How do you feel about the response?
Well, first of all, I was not anticipating that kind of response whatsoever, because whenever I went to write it, I did not write it with any negativity, overt negativity at all in mind. Whenever I made the piece, it was a piece about why people who don't play King of Fighters don't play. So a lot of people were kind of concerned that, why didn't I take into consideration like really big names in the scene, like Hell Pockets, etc. But that wasn't necessarily the point. The point was to kind of get a read on people who don't play and why they don't play.
Okay. How long have you been like playing King of Fighters? Like, can you share with us real quickly, like, kind of a little bit of a like fighting game history, if you could?
Sure. Yeah. So my history with King of Fighters isn't as long as my history with Street Fighter, which still isn't that long. I started playing fighting games whenever I was I was a sophomore in high school, so that was about 7 years ago, and I started with Vanilla Street Fighter 4, and then I went back and I played all the alpha games, so I played all the older games of Street Fighter. And then whenever I got into college, I started playing different fighting games because we had more of a scene there. as compared to my small town. So I definitely played King of Fighters 13 and a few other titles with friends, but I didn't play it like exclusively. Yeah.
I feel you.
Okay. Anyone in the discussion panel have any questions for our guests?
I mean, I'm just curious where you went to college because I actually don't know, and I actually know you. So I'm like, wait, where did you
know
go?
Wait, I went to the University of Central Oklahoma.
Okay, gotcha. Nah, because I mean, I did all of Citrus Clash for Alex. I think you know who I am. I'm Andres.
Huh.
He's featured in your article.
I'm sorry?
He's in your article. You actually quoted him.
Yeah. Like I'm Alex's friend Andres.
Nothing.
Oh,
XX.
Jesus.
Yeah, the guy who
I
ran.
can't hear very well.
Yeah, I'm the guy who ran all of Citrus Clash. Is what I'm saying. Yo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I was just saying, like, because I was like, wait, I didn't know where you were from. I actually thought you went to UCF. So I was like, wait, what? So I had to fix that up real quick. All right, cool. So yeah, I actually heard of a lot of people who played stuff in Oklahoma. So
yeah, there's a growing FGC there. We definitely have people, and we have a really dedicated group that comes out to our locals, and to our bigger tournaments, and even to the college's fighting game community. Whenever I was there.
Okay. All right, that sounds good. All right. So I think one of the things people kind of felt that was like a little like questionable was like a lot of people like they felt that it was just like a little negative without much like solutions, and like I know you didn't mean any kind of harm by that, you know.
I think what the concern that people have, and I kind of want to answer this real quick because so a lot of people were kind of expecting this to be more of a, oh, you know, if these are all the problems, then how can we solve it? And I don't think that's necessarily what the goal of the article was. I understand why people felt strongly against it when they saw this article, because I also, like, when I read it, I was like, people are not gonna like this.
Oh yeah.
Like, I was reading it and I was like, okay, I get what it says. Like, I understand it. I'm not here like, oh, let me take to the internet to post my rebuttal. You know, because she asked a bunch of us, like, hey, how do you see what, like, people are saying? Why don't they ever want to, like, get into this, right? And even in those same discussions, like, people would defend or try to defend points. Like, she asked one of the questions and someone replied, Chow Nguyen, the guy who says, like, have you even tried jumping in KOF? Guess who the first person to try to, like, counteract that guy was? It was me, like, rushing to the keyboard, like, it's not that difficult, guys. You know, like,
yeah.
Like, yes, the game is not mad easy. But someone else also pointed out, like, hey, maybe it's okay that it's not that easy. Maybe being a little difficult is okay, as long as us as a community can help. So yeah, like, I get why people are, like, looking at this article and hitting it with the side eye. Also, it came from EventHubs, so for sure, like, if you're like me, you were ready to throw your monitor out. And I was like, oh, wait, but Ginny wrote it, and I kind of trust her, so I actually read it. And I was like, you know, it's not bad. It's not as hatery as everyone thinks it is. It's just that it's not an article about the solution. It's an article going, guys, here's the problem. And all it does is point at the problem.
Yeah.
And so if you're a community like KOF's community that feels often attacked or underappreciated, then yes, anytime someone points at something and goes, hey, there's the problem, you're like, man, fuck you.
Yeah.
Step off my nuts. You know, like, I understand. I get it.
Can I build upon what you're saying,
Yeah,
Andres?
Yeah.
You know, like, from an objective standpoint, when I read the article, you know, when I took it back to 2011 when I got into KOF 02, I could completely agree with almost everything except the jumping thing. That was easy. But like
some people find
the execution way harder than necessary. You know, in that mindset, that's what I thought back then. And the character diversity was, you know, 3 characters. Okay, well, I'm gonna learn Iori, he has a DP. Kyo, he has a DP. And Kim, because, flash kick, y'all. I was scrubby back then, and those were my characters. And learning the game through what people would consider easy characters made learning the game way harder for me. Because KOF isn't about the characters, it's about the neutral, I feel like. It's about knowing the game, much like Tekken, where it's about knowing the game much less than knowing characters.
Yeah, I can feel that, actually. Because that's what everyone tells me about Tekken, right? They're like, once you understand the neutral / way you're supposed to interact with other people in the game, you could play almost anybody and you're good. I made Actually, I didn't make a mistake. I made the right choice in picking Miguel, so I have to learn all of this other stuff. I have to learn the game, forced to learn the game, instead of, I could just pick Paul and Death Fist punish everything and I learn nothing. But I have Miguel, so everything that Miguel has to do to win is in the, that's Tekken, you gotta learn it. It's the same, like if you play KOF and you started at 98 and you're like, well, my team is Chris, Diamond, insert top tier here. Yeah, you're going to get by on pressing B and pressing D and controlling the neutral game. Or you could play like characters that are really KOF-y and kind of start to understand how characters are trying to get in, and you'll learn more. You could play Kim, who has all these weird cancels, and you'll start to learn all the intricacies of the strangeness of why KOF canceling when you don't have any meter is so strange. Like, if you stomp and you input a super, for some reason your stomp animation is gone. Why? I don't know. 98. Fucking deal with it. It's like when you do Rekkas with Yori, but you input a super motion, but you have no super. For some reason, your Rekka animation ends sooner. Why? I don't know. Deal with it. If you can deal with it well enough, you got an infinite in 13, I'll tell you what. Weird shit like that. You gotta learn weird shit to play KOF, and that is definitely one of its quote-unquote problems.
Yeah, definitely.
Hard. Sometimes it's hard
Yeah.
for no reason.
Right. Jenny, do you have a response to the difficulty, or perceived difficulty of KOF from what we're saying?
Oh, did she get... I don't hear...
Her mic's muted.
Mic muted. There, you're back.
Sorry, I'm back on. There was an announcement in the terminal, so I was trying to spare you all.
Oh, that's fine.
Gotcha.
That's fine. But yeah, we were talking a little bit about, people saying KOF is hard and stuff like that. But what are your thoughts on, like, what we just expressed?
Oh, and what you just expressed?
Well,
yeah. Well, coming from someone who isn't necessarily a KOF background, I can certainly see what people were complaining about. I mean, we had enough people. I mean, if there is a challenge and some people don't understand it, it's going to be difficult to get an audience that isn't used to that challenge into the game. So we take a relatively easier game like Street Fighter V, which has taken out some of the execution barriers, and people are playing that now. A lot of new players are playing that, and then they try to play King of Fighters 14, which granted definitely has lessened, the difficulty level with like the auto combos and stuff like that. It's still going to be harder for them with kind of the more depth that it has. At least from what I've read from people's comments and from my experience.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, it's basically it is.
One thing people seem really upset about was that the article, it didn't have any voices in the community, like you mentioned earlier with Hell Pockets, like votes to promote the game. And I think really people felt that the article was really negatively themed. So your article was KOF is bad. This is why you don't play it.
And that was certainly not my intention at all. I definitely think that I definitely should have like stepped back, gave it a couple days, and then read it again. But again, like everyone on my team was like, I mean, it was negatively construed, but in our eyes, it didn't seem that way. And in my eyes, it certainly didn't seem that way. And I wouldn't have published anything that I thought, like, I don't publish hit pieces on games. I actually really love King of Fighters. I love the characters. I think it's really fun. I have a good time playing it. As compared to Street Fighter V, whenever I lose, I just feel like I got hit with a ton of bricks. In King of Fighters, I actually feel like I have fun and I learn something. So, that was certainly not my intention, and the reason why the good things in the article are kind of a footnote was because I was made to cut a lot of what I had originally wrote down. And so I was forced to kind of focus on one topic, and that topic was, already kind of there, why people aren't playing. So I kind of really had to go in and chop some pieces for length, and that was what it ended up being.
Can you share with us what was omitted?
Yeah, so a lot of people were saying, okay, MVCI, the graphics don't look so good. Why didn't you compare it to that? I did in my original piece. I compared it to that. There were a lot of other things that people had addressed in the comments that I did address in the original article, such as, the difficulty, like Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is really difficult as well. All that was addressed in the article too, and I had a lot more positivity from it as well. I had a lot of different points about even though it's difficult, it's really rewarding. There's a great cast of characters, all the good things I just had to cut. And I felt like if I was, supposed to make it shorter length, we should focus on one thing, which was originally, why people aren't playing.
Understandable, definitely. Quick question. So you did have in the original, well, you do have to learn 3 characters in Marvel 3 as well.
Yes,
Okay.
Because the 3 character thing, I was like, wait, that doesn't make sense. If people are saying, 3 characters from the jump, that's kind of difficult. Well, yeah, but then people are also doing it in Marvel vs. Capcom, and they've been doing it. And I think the point there comes down to these are characters that everyone knows and loves in America. We love superheroes here, but who's this blonde guy in a red hat? Nobody knows that. So I think that becomes the issue there. But I definitely did address that in my original article, yes.
So I'll say one thing real quick on the Marvel thing is that it's a little bit different learning 3 characters in Marvel, because one thing to remember is that game revolves around assists as well. So you can start learning your point character with your 2 assists. And that's something you can start with. And then you can gradually learn, oh, well, guess what? Eventually, this character gets snapped in or my first character dies. Not like KOF, where you actually have to know the full length of that character. If we go back to, let's say, Marvel 2, 2% of any Captain Commando player knew how to play Captain Commando. Because that character sucked. Like, that was it. Like, Psylocke. Very few actual Psylocke players. They played Psylocke assistant.
I thought that was the only thing you did with Captain Commando.
But that's what I mean, though. It's like
corridor.
Marvel, it's a little bit different than learning in KOF, is more, I guess, what I was saying.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
I'm being silly.
And, to build upon that, Marvel is, I don't want to say dial a combo, but, Marvel 2 was magic combo, light punch, light kick, medium punch, medium kick, heavy punch, heavy kick. It's easier to combo in those games, and it's more universal across all characters, whereas not everyone has access to those easier combos in older KOF. 14 has auto combos, but those are a waste of resources.
Yeah. In Marvel 2, that is not the case. Basic competency of Marvel 2 requires so much investment in at least two of 4 characters just to even do combos properly and even land them that, like, no, it's not an apt comparison. If people tried to tell me back in the day that they didn't want to learn KOF because it was too hard, but they were really good at Marvel 2, I might hit them. That game requires like a PhD in bullshit. You gotta be able to wrap your head around a couple of characters with 8-way dashes, or you gotta fucking put your trust in the robot. And also know how the mechanics of fly and unfly. I could sit here and talk for hours on the intricacies of fly and unfly.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And why, if you have like Sentinel drones assist versus Sentinel punch assist, your team is completely different. If you're playing Magneto, Storm, Sentinel, those are 2 completely different teams, and that all it took was one stupid assist change. Don't tell me that KOF is hard if you're good at Marvel. I will punch you in the dick.
I have a question. I have a question for Jenny. Yeah. Andres, yo, man,
chill, bro.
Calm down, man.
I was taking the spirit of Marvel got inside me. I'm so sorry.
Calm down, man.
I gotta fan myself.
Calm down. Let me fan you, man, with this church fan, man, that has Martin Luther King on the back of it, man. Yo, So, Jenny, I have a question about, like, you said something about the net code about King of Fighters 14. What was, like, your experience about regarding the net code in 14?
In 14, for me, it's never been good. In my experience playing online, every single time that I go on to play, whenever I am trying to play someone, at least in my experience, like, all my matches get dropped. I'm not sure if it was my internet or their internet or the net code. I'm fairly certain. I mean, at least in my experience, it's been bad.
Okay, now when was this experience?
Well, I haven't played King of Fighters in a while, but this was probably earlier in the year, like I would say maybe 5 months ago, whenever I played. I was living somewhere else other than my house at the time, so it could have very well been experiences in my region. But again, I mean, and then also anytime that I try to hop online, I never find anybody. But I mean, that's my personal experience, you know, with the netcode. But some other people did complain about netcode in this game and in other previous King of Fighters games as well. But in my experience, it hasn't been great.
What kind of connection did you use? Did you use like Wi-Fi? Did you use like broadband? Did you use like AOL?
Well,
56K?
originally I was using.
AOL.
Well, originally I was using Wi-Fi, and then I went to a wired connection.
Desmond, let her finish.
And then I went to a wired connection. I just moved my console to like the port and I put it in there. But it still wasn't great for me. And again, it could have been my area because I mean I live in Oklahoma, so it could have been anything to do with. And I didn't live in the city, so that might have been it.
Well, to be fair, though, so here's the problem with the KOF netcode. It's that if either of the people are on Wi-Fi, the connection is awful.
Yeah.
And if she's just trying to play random people, like she's just trying to get her game on, like she comes home, she's like, I'm gonna play some KOF today. And so she plugs in the console, goes online, tries to play some people. Guess what? Shit is gonna be awful because she's probably gonna go on rank, try to have a good time. She's gonna run into like the one of 8 dudes who plays on like their fucking like router that they got from their cable company, and it's Wi-Fi, and also they drool from their mouths, so they don't know how to set anything up.
Oh my God.
That was my experience in the beginning of KOF. I tried playing ranked. That shit is absolutely unplayable.
Oh,
but
ranked is abysmal.
But the reason why is because the netcode is about as good as you can make non-rollback netcode. It's just that's as good as you can make regular ass netcode. And unfortunately, the people who go online to play this game, who are randoms, are going to be whack. But if I played with KCO Pedro and I played on wireless, and that shit was banging. I played Hell Pockets. We're like on both sides of the country. That shit was banging. But we also have a wire, B. You know, like we made sure that our setup was okay. And even when she made sure her setup was okay, yes, if you go on ranked and you play random, it's going to suck. There's no stopping that, and half of it is lack of players that play it online because of a lower install base. Understandable. And like it's probably that she doesn't have like homies that she can put like, yo, let's hit up that KOF, bro. You know, like like she's not gonna hit me up like, hey, let's play KOF. You feel me? Like whatever. Maybe now she will, but now I can't play KOF because I don't have anywhere to put my console.
Can I build upon that real quick?
Go for it.
You know. As I introduced myself earlier, as a KOF streamer, I started streaming about 6 months ago, like, kind of seriously for KOF 14. Like, it was definitely after the graphics update. And, at the beginning, you know, it was rough, but I knew names, like, because I played the game so much before streaming, that I knew names. I was like, okay, this guy's got a good connection, this guy's got a good connection. Let's look for these people. But, like, sometimes I'll play ranked for, you know, giggles. And it's just, like, even if they have 3 bars to me, it's really bad. And that signifies, oh, man, this dude's on Wi-Fi. How are you going to have 3 bars and play like crap? So, and when I started building my community and, you know, building my brand, I had a group of people that would always, you know, be like, hey, let's play King of Fighters. Are you streaming? Yeah, like, I'm like, yeah, let's play King of Fighters. I might not be streaming at that time, but, you know, and it's a lot easier when you know the people you're playing with and you know they have good connections. Like, Pedro's got a good connection. Digimon's got a good connection. Desmond's got a good connection. Lazy Fred's got a good connection. Mexican, his connection's kind of wonky. Sorry, bro.
Right. Okay.
Hey, bro, I just got done playing Stray Wolf online, and we played just fine. I don't know if it's on my end, bro.
I played Stray Wolf too, and we just got done playing just fine, and both of us are streaming.
Yeah. Temple Nut, did you?
Yeah. So back to the article. Like upset about it is that like talking about earlier, like, just a really pessimistic tone. Like in one part of the article it says, "And good luck finding anyone in your local area willing to put in the time and effort to compete with you." Like with that note, especially inside the community, saying that it's like no point to engage in like offline activity. It's true that there are fewer events for KOF, and let's say like Street Fighter V, your tone was "don't try," or "it won't be worth it." Yeah, but I do really like, incredibly rewarding. And at the very end of your article, and I really appreciated that to end it on a more positive note. Like, people might have felt that you kind of just hit them with all this stuff and then like a thumbs up at the end. And that's why people might have been upset as well.
And I definitely understand that. And like I said before, I did have a lot more positive things to say, but again, I had to cut it for length. I was supposed to bring it down. I had it originally at like 2,000 words, and I had to bring it down to 1,000 words.
Ooh.
And
shout out to EventHubs.
Yes.
Wait, what?
Well,
Who said that? It wasn't me.
And then also, in my experience, at least in my area, there are no King of Fighters players at all. And from people who I've known who've moved to Oklahoma, their communities, and I've spoken to them in the past, they've said that they didn't have much of a community either. So in my experience, from what I've been told and from what I've known, there hasn't been much of a local scene. So, at least, and especially in my area. But that's just from my experiences.
Okay. I would like to introduce Juicebox.
Oh my God, is that?
Juicebox to God.
Oh my God.
Is this thing on? Okay.
Oh!
All right, I'm in. How you guys doing?
Good. How are you feeling, sir?
Off of work. I'm happy to be home. Saw everything that happened today. Obviously did what I could from Twitter, but, is what it is. I've been listening for the past 10, 15 minutes or so. I heard about Marvel and Spirit of Marvel. That was good.
I'm sorry, dude. It took me over. I don't know what happened. It was just...
I know, man. I was about to pull out the organ, man. and a tambourine.
Just call The Exorcist, dude, just straight up. Get the Spirit of Marvel out of me.
Right. But yeah, what are your thoughts, man, on all this, Juice?
Well, I would say that I understand kind of sort of where the article is coming from. It's not so much a big collection of untruths as it is the thoughts of someone who has heard things from the KOF community combined with personal experience. Well, it seems these things are true. There's not really an issue with that. We can't say an opinion is wrong. It has more to do with the fact that unless you talk with the right people or play with the right people, KOF can be sort of an underwhelming community experience. You might have seen Hell Pocket's thread about the KOF 13 Evo Finals and the story leading up to that, and Bala and Mad KOF and all that. If you weren't a part of all that, KOF 14 is just a clean slate. And depending on what tutorials you have or have not seen, the game can seem very, very daunting from a 2D fighter's perspective, because it's like, wow, I hit 2 lights and the game doesn't do the work for me. Okay, there's more I have to do here. What I would say is that there's a lot that we can do as a community to try and dispel these myths. A lot of it we're sort of actively doing, those of us that stream and talk about the game and stuff like that. But ultimately, what we want to take from the article is that a lot of people do think this. Mm-hmm. And, it's been really awesome to see on Twitter that a lot of us agree that a lot of this is untrue. And maybe people that we did not know, played much KOF or were not that in tune with the community also agree with us. Hey, KOF is a good game. Hey, KOF's netcode actually is good most of the time. Hey, the game isn't that hard. I don't think the game is hard from the perspective of just wanting to learn it. I think if you get really good at Street Fighter 4 or really good at Street Fighter 5 or really good at Marvel 3 and then you look at KOF, you can say, well, some things are easier, but some things are tougher. But I don't think for most people that's the issue. I think for most people it's, who's this Nelson guy? Or why is Mai not wearing any clothes? Or who is this Antonov guy and why is he so dorky? Like, that is part of it. And then the other part of it is, wait, I actually have to go to training mode for 10, 15 minutes to actually do any combos at all with any character? Like, that can be like a sort of a new thing for some people. So it all kind of meshes together. And the article, I think, just helps us realize that, you know, that stigma is out there, but we can all address that.
Yeah.
That's, you know, that's...
Yeah, I agree, man. Like, everything I heard, everything that I've seen in that article, I've heard that from people in person at tournaments. Damn, somebody's feedbacking. But yeah, in tournaments, I heard people say this at locals. I heard people say things like that in my own house. I heard people say things like this, comment sections and whatnot. Like, a lot of people say a lot of the things that were in the article, you know, and it's like I've heard it all before, even like with the net code and stuff like that, because like KOF always kind of had like a bad rep with the net code until recently. But yeah, I did feel like a lot of what I read I've heard before. You know, it's just it kind of, you know, just kind of like seeing it again, and then like without any kind of like solution like in the actual article. I mean, I know it probably was omitted, but like just seeing it, it was just kind of like okay, you know.
You know, like even I said earlier, from when I first started, I could agree with a lot of that stuff even. So I feel like for me though, when I got over that hump, it's because I fell in love with the series. Like, I love the characters, I love the gameplay, and this probably isn't the best place to do this, but huge shout out to Juicebox, because if it weren't for his neutral game videos, I'd still be throwing my controller for KOF, because that was a concept that eluded me for so long, but it all became clear after watching that stuff.
Right. I have a question for Jenny. Do you think the lack of popularity for KOF here is because a lot of Americans here, they haven't like gotten the time to connect with a lot of the characters, you know, from the
I definitely. Yeah, I would say so. I did see a lot of people whenever they commented, you know, ignorantly say, "Well, I always thought it was a Street Fighter knockoff," which I was like, "What? No, not at all."
Oh, that makes me so mad.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people say that, and I mean, I think just because of Street Fighter kind of being the main game, and then you know you have games like Mortal Kombat, which are more like westernized. King of Fighters, I feel like the characters don't resonate with a lot of people, in my opinion. Like, I think that people see, you know, Kyo or Terry, and they kind of don't get it. Even though Terry Bogard obviously has so many fans and Kyo's super cool, you know, that was kind of the vibe I was getting from people, was like they weren't really into it because they didn't know about it, and they thought it was kind of a Street Fighter knockoff, and the characters weren't important to them.
All right. Any thoughts on that from anyone?
Yeah, I actually have a thought on that. When you go back far enough, KOF 95 felt like it was Street Fighter knockoff with an evasive step and 3 characters. The movement in that game wasn't dignified just yet. Oh, we had dashing too, but that was it. But when KOF 96 rolled out, I felt like it stopped being so much as another Street Fighter 2 clone and more of its own thing. I felt like King of Fighters 96 was the super turbo of KOF. Everything was revolutionized in that game.
Well, I mean, I think if you've actually played 94, when I learned how to play 94, it was team art of fighting, throw fireball, uppercut on jump.
Yeah.
Straight up grimy old Street Fighter 2 bullshit. So yeah, in the early days, it felt kind of like a lot of the game play was a little bit very much like Street Fighter, but they definitely, even in 95, it started to get a little different because of the way that hit stop and hit stun works in that game, which is very weird if you've ever played KOF 95.
And KOF 96 really started pulling away, started to do its own thing. And that's when I guess what we would consider the modern KOF player really truly came to be, which was 96, 97 in particular. And then 98 kind of brought it all together and made possibly one of the most solid games, KOF games of all time. Or solid games in general.
All right.
I have a lot of thoughts about that, but I also don't want to sit here and wax philosophical about KOF for 3 hours. So,
also, I wanted to know that the reason we had this podcast today was because of Desmond, especially this post he made earlier, which was saying it's kind of sad that KOF gets any sort of big burst or constant attention when we're discussing when people don't play the game. About it, the way I responded was that social media, especially Twitter right now, from really positive and negative pockets, a really positive message for the game. Even if we don't get a ton of new players, just 1 or 2 at a time would be great. And instead of saying we don't like this article, reason why is the community viewing us inside this way, and how can we prove we can adapt to this adversity?
Right. I think one thing we should talk about probably even right now is like, why don't we get into solutions and how to kind of like turn, these like I would say thoughts of KOF, and turn them into actual action. That way, they don't have to be like common thoughts anymore. So let's get into some like solutions on ways that we can kind of like build.
I mean, I have a thought about this real quick, and I want to shout out the fact that you specifically have been talking about tournaments today, and you shouted out so many of them. There are so many tournaments right now, and I wasn't expecting this many, but there is a surprisingly robust amount of online tournament support for KOF. And the fact that there is a I'm sorry, I'm having trouble forming words because I don't know what the hell. The fact that Matcherino, people are willing to put in this money so that they could support the people who are playing and putting on these events, and also to give the players some decent prize money at the end is super great. Like, that's really raw. That's really cool. And I also like that people are going out of their way to do these things. For example, in Vegas, which is not a very hard location for maybe people in the north of Mexico to come up to and go to if they can finagle a way that around, maybe like a weekend sort of deal, or straight up just people who are in the southwest of the United States that play these games that won't go to an NEC or something like that. They can go out there and play this free entry tournament. Like, what the hell? That's awesome. And maybe putting more focus on those tournaments as they happen, and coming together as a community to put those out there and try to do more. I guess it'd have to be social media outreach, or just in general, not just social media outreach, but in general outreach towards people who might want to do and play KOF. We got to get those people to watch and get those people to go, I want to go over there and I want to get my ass beat, but I want to have a good time. They look like they're having a good time.
Right.
It always comes down to the community getting behind that, and part of it will come down to people, obviously, like us, saying, hey, look at this, it's happening. Come check it out. Come play in it. Some of it's free. Some of it's online. As long as you have a wired connection and a joystick and a pulse, you can join this. I guess also a copy of KOF would help.
Right.
Just get those people to play. Yeah.
I would like to say that I have to leave soon. My flight is, I think, about to board. But I will be doing a follow-up piece that will focus on the more positive aspects, as well as an interview with Romance. So I would be on the lookout for that. And I do plan, and I want to make an apology on how the article was received, and if it was perceived in a negative way. I didn't intend for the piece to be that way, and I'm very sorry, and I will definitely do better in the future.
I want to say, I'm just glad you're writing about the game. I'm glad that you were involved enough and you care just to write an article discussing problems that you saw inside the scene, so that we can work on improving it.
Yeah, thank you.
It's okay. It's just EventHubs.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on, Jenny. I appreciate that immensely. I hope you enjoyed our discussion, and I was I appreciate you sharing a little bit of like background thoughts on the article, and yeah, thank you so much. I look forward to reading more of your writing and your material.
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity to be able to talk with you guys about it. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
Also, thanks for clarifying that you had to shorten your article, because knowing that your article went into more was, like, astounding to me, because, like, I thought it was just like,
Well, and I don't want to bash EventHubs for it either. I mean, my article is for freelancing. They generally are, like, supposed to be not super long. So that was more of the point, was like, okay, you can't write an essay on here. Are people going to read that?
No, completely understandable. Completely understandable.
But again, I want to thank you guys so much, and thank you for having me. I really appreciate it, and I'll talk to you guys soon. I'll be at Tekken World Tour in San Fran. So, yeah, I'll see you guys.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Have a safe flight, yo.
All right.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
Peace.
I think we should do another boot camp. That was fun.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, what do you think of those, man, just overall?
Well, I mean, it's always a treat to watch Decimo, and in my case, get to play Decimo. That's pretty freaking sweet. But, not just him, obviously, Stray Wolf, and, anyone else who wants to sign up. I think that there needs to be a small effort towards the not top players hosting more tournaments. I think that there's already something like that going on in the Discord, but I think it would be cool if there was more hype building around, just some of the online play that we do currently have. There's plenty of players like Hawaii Monkey, there's a few others I probably can't name right now, that, are playing online. They're playing online frequently. They're doing pretty good. And, we could just, shine a spotlight on some of the matches that they have, show off some of their hype moments. And it doesn't always have to be a super top, these are the best players kind of a tournament thing. And that can, fill in some of the gaps, because we have an offline tournament once in a while, and we'll do one of those online tournaments. It looks like once a month with the help of Keiko, which is really awesome too. Maybe depending on how the future works out for that. And by the way, they have that offline tournament they're going to have in February, which I do hope I can go to. You buy that extra week of vacation, and now I'm set. So,
nice.
I'm hoping that I can actually go to that one. But more. We've shown, I think, with some of the boot camps and other things, that we can have enough of an online presence to stay consistent. So we just need to organize something like that. Maybe once every other week we could have a beginners intermediates tournament, or that's the end of my idea. Someone pick it up.
I would love more of those boot camps, because I didn't get to play in those, and I really wanted to.
Right. Yo, Reiki, did you want to say something?
Yeah, we actually have done a lot of research on what people would like to do in order to play or watch or learn more KOF. We have a lot of data on some of the things that people would really like to see at tournaments. So, I mean, we could go back to that data, we could look at that, and at least try some of those things at some of the tournaments, or even on the online things that we're doing. I also feel like, and kind of piggybacking off of what you were saying, Juicebox, was we really do need to build up solidarity. We are all trying to do so many different things that are amazing, and I feel that if we can support each other in doing them, we magnify the effect of what we're doing. I think that the online tournaments that we were doing before, or the online tournaments that we are doing now, the monthly ones, have gotten even better, because Keiko has been including more people from the community, and we've been able to really accomplish a lot with that. And I think we can do that with even more things.
Right.
Yeah.
Andres, did you want to say something, man?
Nah, he kind of covered what I was going to say for the most part. I also feel, though, that more people who are vacillating on maybe trying to do something locally. If you have the opportunity to get something done locally, or you have the opportunity to attach yourself to a local, to bring out the whatever few KOF players you may have in your area to come out and start playing, you should do it. We had Red Bull held the proving grounds for Street Fighter V, and they had a bunch of smaller tournaments that they supported that were monthlies that we set up.
in different regions. For example, in Orlando, we had Citrus Clash. And so a thing that I did, and I think that I pushed for as soon as I was told I could add more games was, or that we had the budget and the space to add more games, was that, you know what, I'm going to host KOF. I know there's a strong enough presence in, say, Orlando for a KOF tournament, and I'm sure that Miami will travel if I say, hey, I have it here, come out. And sure enough, people like Carlos Campos, who we haven't seen show up to a tournament in forever, came out a few times. We had people from South Florida. There's a couple of them right now in the chat. MS, who placed top 8 at CEO, came out and played. Omagoma, who beat me at CEO, the jerk. He also was there. You know, there's a bunch of different people who, if you build it, they will come. If you show people that you have a tournament for this game and you do your due diligence in spreading the word out and getting to know the people who play it locally, they will come out there. And if you do it long enough, more people are going to come out. And if you do it long enough, people are going to look and they'll be like, you know, I wasn't really thinking of playing it, but now I see that people are playing it locally. And then maybe you can start hosting some weekly sessions and stuff like that. You know, just the way that we built old fighting game communities back in the day when we didn't have the support of #esports, that shit still works. Just try it. And now we can actually do it online and it works. And we can support, again, like was brought up by Reiki, we can support each other. We can band our efforts together, right? If there's an online tournament and maybe your friends don't have a whole lot of good online access, maybe on the day of the online tournament, host a Getty at your house. You have good internet. I have gigabit. If the next time one of these things happens, I am so happy to grab, we got 4 Asus monitors in my house, use them for computers. I will unplug them, plug in 4 PS4s, and on this stupid gigabit connection, I'll have everyone play in that goddamn tournament. I don't care. We'll figure a way out, you know. That's shit you can do. And you think it's not going to help. It's going to help a ton.
Yeah. I don't mean to interrupt. I would like to introduce Black Rose.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, my God. It's him. I don't want to talk to Josh. I love you, Josh.
Can I build upon some of the other stuff about... these are things that Hell Pockets are saying, and I feel like through the boot camp, we could make this kind of thing happen. I feel like there's not enough who to watch in the KOF community right now. I feel like there's not enough rivalries, you know? Like, if we can get some poppin' rivalries going on, kind of like how we tried to do in the KOF tournament group on Facebook with Vicio versus Digimon and Pedro versus Violent Kane, I feel like if we can get more of those going, we can bring in spectators outside of our community. Like, oh crap!
All right, I want to bring up one quick point, and I'm not just so you guys can talk for a second about something. I know a lot of you continue to talk about a KOF boot camp, but remember that not everybody in the audience knows what you're talking about. So can someone please explain in shortly who wants to handle this one? Who wants to explain the KOF boot camp?
Yeah, I don't think people know either. Yeah.
So the KOF boot camp is a Game Goons production where a lot of the Game Goons crew have exhibitions with some top players or some up-and-comers, while also teaching some of the people they want how to do commentary. They do one-on-one commentary. They match them up with amateurs, and it's pretty much just a production to build up our community skills in doing a production.
It's not just that. Also, not just for the players who get to play. There is also a chance, if you're not a very good commentator but you want to build up your skills, they will have you. They will pair you up with someone more experienced so you can start learning how to do proper commentary, so you can learn your pacing, so that you don't crowd everybody out, or so that you can speak up more.
I want to get in on that commentary game too, because that'll help my stream production.
Yeah, and Hell Pockets is a great teacher in that regard. So you should definitely, if you want to, and if you really want to learn, maybe you want to help your local scene by being one of those people who are available to be a commentator, you should talk to Hell Pockets. Hit him up on Twitter. I remembered I had to apply, to do it. Just hit him up. He'll give you the information. This is valuable experience for anyone who wants to learn how to, even commentary for anything. But in general, if you love KOF, this is the place to do it.
Also, one thing I want to touch on was the KOF wiki page, because we've been updating that like as we go, character to character. I think that would help too as a resource, just independent resource. So that way, if somebody buys KOF, they could just type it and find a wiki page and then start to learn characters and normals by themselves without having to rely on somebody else. Well, crushed by the first time they play somebody. And also, back to the local scene thing, like the Red Bull events, I had something similar in my area, and it started off pretty nice. We would get like 8 to 10 people. It would like die out, and now it doesn't even exist. Steve, Lazy Freddy, Dynasty, Patu KOF, they came through some weeks every once in a while. But you guys have any ideas for how to bring back your scene or how to bring back players?
Let's get into that in a couple minutes. I would like to see how Black Rose, Josh, is doing. What are your thoughts, man? I know you've been listening in for a while, man. Like, what do you think about the past, 24 hours?
I actually posted a huge tweet longer on my Twitter earlier, and a lot of it was pointing out just my sort of take on the article. But ultimately, I'd say I'm disappointed that it was basically what could have been a long-form piece that was cut from. It was basically cut half, and because it was cut in half, it felt the piece felt incoherent as a whole, and that incoherency sort of lent gravity to the fact of what is this piece about? Why does this feel so negative? So on and so forth. So when Gina came on and she started talking about how she was pointing out some of the inconsistencies, so on and so forth, trying to bring up things that were positive, but she couldn't because EventHubs basically told her to cut her piece in half. That just led to a lot of disappointment. And I think there's room for long form pieces like that in our community, and the fact that we just don't support him, even though yes, she is a freelance person underneath EventHubs, is just, as I said, disappointing.
Okay. Any thoughts on that from anyone else?
EventHubs.
I think that people like SRK are looking for that now. They've already expressed interest in doing more articles about us, and we can bring that information to them. Mm-hmm. I think that exploring the more complex things that make our community interesting and great is really important in giving our community a voice, and I don't think that journalism has done that so far. I know that a couple of reporters have gone the distance to try and do that, like Zeddy, for example. Zeddy, he was a reporter for SRK, and he did a lot of articles about us. He even covered the survey that we were doing. I think if we had more people like that, and also Ginny too, I think that we could have a voice and we could do that. We just have to find a platform that's willing to do it, unlike EventHubs, who will, truncate some of the things that the reporters are trying to say.
EventHubs.
I know.
And then, and to build on that, one of the things I did notice was in the past, it's going beyond our community, but talking about the Guilty Gear community and the BlazBlue community, I remember when there was a big backlash over there about how they were being reported, and some of the people who were writing for the sites like SRK and EventHubs came out and said, "Look, we don't run the normal beat that you think we run. We don't look at all the games or anything. If there's something out there that you want us to report on, you got to give us the tip. You got to give us the heads up."
Yeah, it's not their job to go and look for that stuff for us. We have to be our own voice. We also need to know who to talk to. and that hasn't been as evident for us. You could almost say that we're the minority group in the FGC, and we don't really have a lot of representation.
Yeah, I agree.
I know it's a little deep.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I've submitted tips to SRK before, and it felt like I was just like rolling the dice, you know, and seeing what I'll get. And sometimes
I've submitted tips to SRK before, and none of them get posted.
Yeah. You know,
that's almost for sure like who knows who, right? Because I'm pretty sure if I send like Ian like a messages, or back in the day when it was Ian, I was like, Ian, check out that thing that's on fire. And he was like, you're right, it is on fire. And suddenly there was an article, and I was like, oh, shit.
I remember a million years ago when I made a video where I bitched for 50 minutes about footsies and Street Fighter 4. I submitted, because I'm an asshole, I submitted a tip about my own video to EventHubs as I was uploading it. And I'm like, hey, this is going to go up. Maybe you should do a thing. And they did, you know. I don't know if people knew who I was back then. I don't want to talk about the past, but you know, like I think what you're saying is right. It's kind of a who knows who's in right now kind of a thing. I do think though that maybe they don't get a lot of KOF tips. So there is going to be more offline tournaments. There are going to be more boot camps. I think you know, we might be doing more round robin things or more things in the Discord. And I think if more than 1-2 of us submit tips, whether it's to, you know, Event Scrubs or SRK, or you know, if we want to level up our game, maybe we should call Kotaku. I don't know. You know, maybe that's actually an avenue we can explore. I don't know if anybody reads Destructoid. I see them do a KOF thing every time there's a new game, but I see them not very often post community content. I mean, we can think. It doesn't cost anything to submit a tip, so if we just come up with stuff to do and then we submit tips, you know, maybe our voice will be heard a little bit more on these sorts of sites.
All right, cool. Anyone have any extra thoughts on that submitted tips?
I have a question. I'm reading this chat.
Well,
and
wait 1 second. Somebody is feedbacking hella hard. Wait, keep talking, Kenji.
Okay. I was reading the Twitch chat, and Calvin asked a good question. He was like, what can a mostly online person like me do to help the KOF community?
A lot.
Play.
There's a lot.
And, you know, like, to start off on the answer to that question is, for me, it's all about streaming. Like, I will go hard in the paint and stream this game. You guys know me by now. And from doing that, I've actually seen people, Calvin himself is one of these people, who bought the game, no second thoughts from my stream, because they're entertained by not only me, but by the way the game looked and like how I was showing off the game. And I feel like as a streamer, Calvin can continue to pursue what I'm doing in regards to just showing off his characters.
Yeah, I mean, all in all, join what's available to play. Play it as much as you can. If there's tournaments and you can afford to enter or it's free to enter, get in there. Play with other people. Find other people to play with. Invite your homies to play with you. If you have a good online connection and you know someone with a good online connection who kind of wants to get into KOF, take them by the hand. Help them out a little bit, you know, get them into the game. Show them that Dandy J video.
Oh, yeah, that video is a classic.
What's really good? This is Kyo.
What's really good?
Nah, the really important part of that video is bird kick. And if you don't think bird kick is the most important part of that video, fight. But yeah, like just, you know, that'll at least teach people how to jump kind of, sort of, maybe. You know, and you can just, you can work from there.
I'm not trying to insult anyone. And Dandy J did put a good amount of work into that video, and it is the KOF Bible. But I feel like it's a lot of reading for someone who's just trying to get into KOF. Like,
we just need a new one.
Yeah, like I feel like we need one with a voiceover or something like that. Because like there's other videos that I've watched, you know, like the Rule of 2 or 3 that's on Dream Cancel. when I watched that, I was like, man, I gotta constantly pause this video just to keep up with it. But it was a good learning resource for the inside game of KOF. That's why, like, when it comes to neutral game, I always link people to Juicebox's stuff, because although he did do the wrong thing first and he clarified he should have did spacing first,
Yeah.
his videos are voiced. They're, informative, they're voiced, and they're sequential. You can watch them in order and learn in this order. Take one video at a time, go practice it. But if you're just someone getting into the game, when I link people all these KOF informational things, I feel like I'm overwhelming them. Like, I feel like we need like an abridged version. Start off here, then go here, then go here.
A lot of my stuff is kind of encyclopedic, like my old 13 videos. Some people want the cliff notes. I would understand like a little 3 to 5. Hey, move backwards a lot, do neutral hop CDs a lot, hold back and hit heavy when they jump in, and don't be afraid to DP. Like something, a super, super basic thing like that would benefit a lot of people. Tutorial content, obviously, is kind of sort of at a premium. But, I'll be honest, I don't, I feel like it's one of the issues we can work at. I think another issue is, of course, some people not liking the characters or the gameplay. I don't even know if we should attempt to address that. Most we can do is just say, hey, this is fun. Hey, we play every other week, this, that, or the other. But, tutorials is obviously one thing that, we can kind of do collectively. I, of course, like to stream. I'm probably going to stream the game tonight. But, there's probably more that we can do along those lines.
Yeah, touching on the whole subject of tutorials, I think there's totally a space for like what we just said. The couple of videos for like, if we can't cover obviously every single goddamn character because there's, only a couple, we can still grab a handful of them and say, well, these are probably the easiest characters to play. And if you're absolutely new, these are the kind of things that will transfer to all the other characters if you learn them. And like you just said, hey, if you're not afraid to do neutral jump CD as kind of like a wall so that people have trouble getting in. Don't be afraid to DP. Don't be afraid to jump back and hit a fierce button if you're trying to get away from people. Here's a good way to approach with a meaty CD into another short hop into shenanigans. These are all pretty general ideas that you could probably like make a KO video that lasts exactly 2 minutes that gives you the rundown on how you too can be a scumbag that hits hop down C into down B into here comes the mix-up. What's next? And
then when your string is over, just hit hard kick max.
Yeah, just go for it. Just like, what? It didn't work. Hard kick max. I got him. Time for combos. You can do these things. We can always teach little things like that. And those are all really important things to learn that I feel all you need is like something that you could just show people, because I could just show this to people, right? I could just go, hey, you want to play KO? Well, here's a couple dumb things you should know. And then from here, just kind of experiment. And, that got me somewhat far with some players. But we need something that feels more concise. I could be like, just look at this when you feel like you're in trouble or you need to reassert yourself. Like, how do I do this thing? Well, if you press bar D and then you hit B and C at the same time, fun things happen. Just a small, like, quick video, like quick and dirty tutorials.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean from that, because like there's content for like combo videos, and then there's like content for how to use a character's normals, but there isn't really a lot of content for like how do I set play with this character, or what are all my options after I knock him down, something like that. That like an intermediate player could be like, hey, or just a bridge between combos and normals and neutral.
There was at least one person who used to do that a lot, Guts, back in the day. I'm not sure if he still does it.
Guts CL?
Yes.
Chile? Oh, man. Whew. I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything new from him.
Guts CL.
Wow. Man, you took me back.
That guy's one of the true OGs, yo.
Yeah, I know, man. I'm having a flashback thinking about that.
but yeah, a lot during 13. That's a lot of what his content was save jump setups, just all sorts of setups, and showing you quick and dirty tricks that you could do. Like for example, Athena. A lot of people in KOF have a sort of move forward with cancel into a special. Athena had both a forward and a backwards. Her stand B moved her backwards while you were with canceling.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of those things that he sat down and just explored, and it was just quick and dirty. These are things you can do with these characters.
Right. Yeah, and the videos weren't that long either. They were like a minute, 2 minutes, maybe 3 on a good day. So yeah, he kept
that's really good actually. Because like 40-minute videos get exhausting, but I mean, if you want to learn the game, then those 40-minute videos aren't that bad.
I think that's actually the one thing that someone else said just really hurts the old Dandy J Bible, is that it's a lot of content to take in for a single video.
Yeah.
So if it was broken out across a number of videos, just like exploring key concepts, that would be better.
You know what is crazy, man? I've been watching that video for years, and every time I go back to that video, I always like learn or pick up something new that I haven't seen before in that video. Like every time I watch it, it feels like I'm watching it for the first time, you know.
Like you just kind of realize something that you hadn't really lent a whole lot of deep thought to.
Right.
And you're like, oh yeah,
right.
Maybe I should do the thing.
Yeah, because it moves pretty fast, you know. So, yeah. I always thought that was interesting.
I would like to pitch an idea that I've started doing with my local community, that people that want to learn KOF. What me and my friend Zarin started doing for the people in our community that don't really know how to play KOF, but like they know a different fighting game like Tekken or something, we started, playing KOF 98. I know that's not the relevant title, but we went back to KOF 98, and the stronger player, like either be it me or Zarin, against the person that we're teaching, we would play specifically defending ourselves. We would never go on offense or anything. We would just use active defense, Juicebox's term, to play against them, and they would have to get around it. And I feel like if you can learn how to get around your opponent's defense, that's a good way to kind of start off learning KOF. And then we would change it up and be like, okay, now you got to defend yourself while I'm just completely rushing you down. I feel like that's a good way to start learning the basics of the neutral of KOF, especially through 98.
All right. Any thoughts on that from anyone?
Yes, play 98. Play more 98. Everyone play 98.
I mean, 98's a great game because you're not going to light somebody up with depending on what KOF game you're playing, anywhere from 50 to 80% combo either.
Unless you're Kyo.
Man, let's not go into that.
or Shingo with Max.
Oh,
you can. My point is, you can keep it. You can actually keep it simple without having to hold so much back.
No, I understand.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So. You ever got hit by Shingo when if he hits you with a hot B and he does close C and he does freaking uppercut, light kick, and all 3 hits crit, and then he uppercuts and that also crits, and you just look at your life bar and you start thinking to yourself, where did I go wrong in my life?
Oh yeah.
Usually it's when I woke up that morning.
Yeah. I usually, when that happens, if it happens more than once, I just get up and I'm like, I should have not played today. Today is not my day.
Shingo for 14. Shingo for 14.
Yo,
right?
Man, there'll be
please.
Come on.
No.
Yo, can you imagine Shingo in 15? Yo, what if he's got fire? Let's have one of those stupid conversations right now. But what if Shingo with fire? Let's go.
No.
Bust out the fanfics.
The fanfics.
Shingo with fire would be like second impact Sean, like just too good. It's way too good.
I did it. I got him. We're talking about this now.
But no, to go back onto why we're using 98, me and Zarin chose 98 because 98, although it does have those devastating Shingo combos or whatnot, it doesn't have so many overwhelming combos that just last forever. Like if we were trying to use 13, if you're stuck in an HD combo and your opponent doesn't drop it, you might as well take out your phone and check your text messages. Or, but in 98, it's all basic, very basic bare bones KOF. And I feel like if you can learn the basic bare bones of KOF, you can carry that over into every other KOF game.
Oh yeah, the game has pretty like big and fat like hitboxes, especially on like projectiles and stuff like that. Like you could win just throwing projectiles all day, and you know what I'm saying, and just doing just extremely simple, just B&Bs, just 1 into 2s and stuff like that. Like yeah, it's a very simple, easy game. You could win from just pressing buttons. You know what I'm saying, or I mean, just like poking and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I understand definitely what you mean. But yeah, I think
it's a good tool to kind of.
No, go ahead.
I think it's a good tool because if you kind of think about it, all the games have been pretty much building up from that point. I think Andres was the one to say that 98 was the start of modern, or not 98, but like 97, 98, or like
I said 96.
Okay, 96. It was the start of modern KOF. Pretty much everything else is an accretion. It's just stuff we've lathered on top over the years. It's pretty much the same game. When you start with 98, you kind of scrape all that stuff off, and you just have the core mechanics of the game.
I mean, yeah, that's about right.
That's important. That's important for someone to know. But you get so caught up in all the other things that have been added on, like 11 was tagging. 12 was crit combos. 13 was HD combos. 14 is max mode. I have no idea what 15 is going to be, but you have all this accretion. You have all this stuff that's been added on top of the main mechanic, and it kind of gets new people lost. They want to get into what everyone else is doing, using all of these mechanics that everyone else is, excited about, but they can't even make use of it if they don't know the basics of the mechanics of the system.
It would be really nice if 14 had like a system mode where you could just turn off meters. Like ultimately, when you learn how to play KOF without any meter whatsoever, you're more or less playing the game, but then the meter changes how you would decide certain things. It's like, you know what? I just blocked Iori close C. Maybe I don't want to deal with it, so I'll spend a bar and I'll guard cancel roll. Or, hey, I'm Kim and her third, so I'm just going to raw max mode. But, to be fair, though, that's totally legit and something way more 14 characters should do, but I digress. Like in 14, meter means a lot. Like in 13, the meters were separate, and you're like, here's my max mode meter, wait for that to fill, and I can toss an EX move once in a while. That was actually simpler than it is in 14 now. In 14, there's 1 meter, and it does a million things. It does like 4 or 5 things, but if you try to think about your meter and you're a new player, now you're not thinking about the neutral, and now you're going to lose because in that amount of time, Iori just hop seed or just ran up and hit standing max mode, so the more the basics you have under control, then the more the meter matters and the more you can use it. But, obviously that's a skill thing, a tutorial thing, but 98 is a great tool for that because a lot of the time it's just going to come down to that sort of basic gameplay.
Well said. Well said. Let's try to wrap things up. I know we could talk for probably 4 or 5 more hours, but I think we should try to cut it down a little bit. So before we do shout-outs, so the title of the show is I Play #KOF because, and people have been using this hashtag on Twitter. Expressing why they play KOF, why they love KOF. So I'm going to do one by one. I'm going to put each of you on the spot, and you can give me a live I play KOF because tweet or a sentiment right now. Why don't we start with let's start with Temple Nut. So I play KOF because go. Temple Nut, you there?
Temple.
Yeah, I'm right.
I think he's
I play KOF right here because my brother played 13 a lot, and it always looked really cool to him. He talked about it, and I always thought Nakaruru was really cool from Samurai Showdown. But when I saw that she had got announced, I'm like, I'm gonna play her. And then I saw Leona, and I was like, that blue hair is beautiful, and it got me, trying the game, checking it out, and playing it.
All right, cool. All right, thank you. Mexican Esteban, I play KOF because
I play KOF because K-Dash's Chain Drive Super in 13 looked awesome. And that's the main reason I actually bought the game. So that's it. I'm not even kidding. I was actually downloading the demo. And I was playing Assassin's Creed, whatever one that came out in like 2011. And when the demo was finished, a buddy of mine was just always talking about KOF. And I'm just like, okay, so I'm going to mess around with this game. And I was just going through, like, K-Dash was one of the demo characters. And I look at the Change Drive Super, and I'm like, what in the world is this input? This input looks retarded. And I'm just like, okay, hold up. Let me look at this. So I looked and saw it was quarter circle forward, half circle back, and did the punch. And I did it. And I had 2 bars, so I did the EX one. And then he did all the cool punching and kicking. And then I was like, okay, this game's awesome. So I didn't drive yet. So I had my mom drive me to GameStop, bought KOF 13, and never played Assassin's Creed, and I never finished it because I just kept playing KOF.
Oh, man. That's a shame.
And ever since then, I liked it. And it's just been my game.
Cool. That's good, man. Thanks for sharing that. All right. Juicebox, I play KOF because...
I play KOF because that's a good question. No, I tweeted out, that, it's fast, rewarding gameplay and stuff. But, truth be told, back from the Street Fighter IV tournament days, I heard KOF 12 was coming out, and I got interested in it. And I still kind of like the idea of a critical counter, and so does Street Fighter V, apparently. But the thing is, we all know that 13, came out and was a really good game, and I got so sucked into it. I think I had something like 1,200 hours on my 360 version, and that's like with no online play.
Man.
It's just a bunch of streaming and practicing.
Oh, my gosh.
And then there was like another 500 to 800 hours on the Steam version after that came out, trying to, play online with people because the online doesn't suck now. It is what it is. But I learned so much just by learning KOF that, I can confidently say it's like my favorite fighting game series. Even with recently being able to learn a bit more about Guilty Gear and learning a bit more about other series and even taking a step back and playing Street Fighter IV again, KOF still has this unique carving, like in all 2D fighting games. It has a very unique style of gameplay, and I love it so much, that I'm just not going to stop playing it. Like 14 is definitely my favorite game right now, the only game I would consider myself really super competitive in. But I play KOF because it's a good-ass game, and it's going to stay a good-ass game because SNK knows it's a good-ass game. That's why they don't change the super motions a whole lot. That's why they don't change up the gameplay much. Like, they just make tiny little changes. People, when 14 came out, they're like, oh, it's a little slower than 13. And I'm like, yeah, it's a little slower, but it doesn't really matter a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. And, the gameplay feels by and large still really good and really clean. And I think we can all agree that if KOF 15 is a thing, it's also going to be good and clean. It's just a question of what whack-ass mechanic are they going to throw at us. And Iori's probably still going to be top tier. And, cross your fingers for Mr. Karate to come back. But it's going to be a good game. And it's because we all know what KOF is and how unique and fun it is, and so that's why I play it. Because after I played 2,000 hours of 13, I'm like, I figured this shit out, and it's really good.
All right, cool, man. All right, thanks for sharing that. Okay, Black Rose, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, cool. Just want to make sure. All right, cool. All right, I play KOF because...
I play KOF because it was the first game where I felt interested in the entire cast, being able to play them, figure out what makes them tick. The movement has always felt very fluid, and it feels like the game allows me to sort of express my playstyle, whether it's through movement or through combos or through normals. Basically, it has something that I feel appeals to me across many different characters, and I find that to be rather rewarding.
Okay. All right. Thank you for sharing. Well said. Reiki Kito. I play KOF because
it's the only way that reminds me of all the fun time that I had when I was playing in Southtown Arcade. Of all the people that I met.
Get your 40s. Get your 40s. Pour them out.
Man. You have no idea.
Rest in peace, Southtown, man. Shit.
That was like my second home. It was... Everyone there was like family to me. I felt really at ease just unbuttoning my tie and walking right into the arcade and playing with Jordan or Dimitri, Felix, Christopher Hell Pockets, maybe even play with the arcade owner, Arturo. It was fun. It's one of the best moments of my life. And I know I'm cheating because I'm saying exactly what I said on Twitter, but that is probably one of the only reasons why I do play KOF, because right now it's my way of reminding myself of all the fun times that I had with people that meant a lot to me.
All right. Yeah, man. I miss watching those streams too, man. Whew. Y'all held it down really well back in the day, man.
Like I think that's really something that really could be put into its own episode, was the impact that Southtown Arcade had, both from a viewer and a player perspective. Ooh. And also how nothing has really come along since then to fill the gap.
Oh man, yo, that'll be great, dude. I'm gonna write that down. Yeah, that'll be a good separate episode. All right, cool. All right, who's next? Ooh, I gotta say it, Kenshix.
You ass.
Kenshi Imura, man. I play KOF because...
Yo, this is going to be long and kind of deep, but I play KOF because it was back in 2011, and it was like when I first started being active on, like Facebook and stuff like that. One of my friends installed a client called Hamachi on my computer. And through that, I met someone, and this is back when I was just a third strike player, right? And he was bodying me in this game called Toho Hiso Tensoku, and I'm like, I'm more of a third strike player, I play this game. He's like, oh, I play that game too, but I'm actually more of a KOF player. And so we played third strike, and I was a complete scrub back then, and I lost, might as well say 10-1, and I had no idea what I was doing. I was one of those people that would fall for 3 sweeps and 10 overhead. Yeah, that's how bad I was. And then he was like, hey, play KOF with me since I played your game. And I'm like, okay. And I got demolished. It was so flashy how he destroyed me in KOF 02 on Supercade. And through him, I met what became my girlfriend at the time. She was a Mexican KOF. I'm biased, but I'll just say KOF player. I hold her at a higher standard, but and we played all the time, and I was just so mad. I was an angry 17-year-old that this girl, who was my girlfriend, was beating me all the time at KOF. So even though I had gotten better at third strike, I'd actually, placed in third strike local tournaments, and I placed third place in Street Fighter 4 tournaments. I had gotten better at Street Fighter. I didn't feel like I was getting better at KOF, and then this love-hate relationship developed with KOF. Oh my god, I hate losing. Oh my god, I love playing this game. So, it carried on. I don't even know what's up with her anymore, that girl anymore. We're not in contact too much. But it carried on, and there's just this burning passion inside of me that is I need to play KOF because it's the shit that she pays attention to. And if I look flashy at it, even though I'm not into her anymore, if I look flashy at it, she's going to be talking to me. She's going to be like, oh, I guess he's not a scrub anymore. So it's kind of a more personal reason, but all in all, I have a lot of fun playing KOF. There's no way I'd be able to play that game for 15 hours straight and all the time if I didn't absolutely love KOF. 13's always going to be my favorite, but Actually, 14 is more of my favorite because I can actually play it with people. Mechanically, 13's my favorite, but realistically, 14's my favorite because I wouldn't have never met you guys. I would have never started my Twitch channel, getting it popping. I would have never been a part of this community that I'm just in love with. Like, I love everything about KOF. The USA community for KOF is like my favorite fighting game community because it's nowhere near as toxic as the days I remember on Supercade and GGPO for 2002. It's actually a welcoming community. I feel happy being here. People actually, teach me how to play. Like, there's this person, Crashman, or even Desmond. You come to my stream and always giving me advice, and I feel like through you guys, I've gotten better. And I'm in love with the community. I cannot stop playing this game. KOF 15 is going to come out, and I'm going to be like, hey, Juicebox, I'm going to have more followers than you for that game.
I love you too, Kenshi.
I love you too. I'm going to be like, hey, Desmond, I'm going to be better than you at this game. I'm just going to keep playing. I'm going to keep communicating, keep traveling, because you guys are like my family, Like, I've never felt this close to anything before. So, that's why I play KOF. I'm sorry that kind of got sappy and personal, but
I approve.
I just had to be honest.
Hey, I'm reaching for the Kleenex right now, man. Reaching for the Kleenex right now. Thank you so much for sharing that, Kenshi.
You're welcome.
All right, Andres, nothing XS. I play KOF because
I don't have anything quite so deep. Mine is all about feeling. The reason why I still play KOF is because the hairs on the back of my neck still stand up when this comes on. Tell me I'm fucking wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
Oh yeah.
I'm back in Mexico. I'm back in Mexico right now. Getting my ass beat on an arcade. I'm reaching for my pesos. I'm reaching for my 1 peso coin. I'm calling my friend over, and I'm like, "We're gonna play right now. We're gonna do this shit, and it's gonna be fucking lit."
Yo, look
why
at
KOF.
Make sure you pick random.
Oh yeah, pick random select. That's like a rule in KOF.
Yo,
oh man,
seriously. Because when that comes on, the hairs on the back of my neck will stand up, and I will start fucking fiending. I love KOF. I loved KOF since I started playing in 1994. Ever since I walked into that random little arcade in Villahermosa, Tabasco, and I was like, that's the game that they were talking about in that EGM that we bought at Sanborn's. I want to play it so bad. And I got up and I played the dude, and he whooped my ass so hard that I was like, I'm gonna learn this shit. Can I get this for home? I can't. I can only come to arcade. So I started going to a little random little rinky-dink shop by my house. Walk there every day after school. Play. Show up with like 5 pesos. Get whooped 5 times. Next day, show up with 5 pesos. Get whooped 5 times. Over and over again. Through 94, through 95. They called me the kid that remembered all the music. Because I remembered every single fucking song. 96, so I started winning some games. 97, started winning a couple more games. Moved to Cancun. 98. It ain't that deep. I've just been playing it forever. It's in my blood. I can't help it. New KOF comes out, I will fiend on that game for a couple months straight. Sometimes, like, people will be like, hey, you got responsibilities. And I'll be like, man, fuck responsibilities. KOF is here.
This is the voices, man.
Dude, I feel it 100%.
Like, I will be like, yo, is Yuri good? He's not good. I'm going to make him good. I don't give a fuck. I don't give half of a shit. I'm still, to this day, not even that good. Everyone will tell you that I still haven't figured out basic things about fighting games that everyone already knows. And I will keep up a little bit. Like, people will be like, he's not as bad as he says he is. And then I'll be like, no, I'm way worse than you think I am. Like you just haven't figured out the shenanigan yet. And once you figure out the shenanigan, you'll be like, oh, I could just stay on the ground and anti-air him forever, and he's dead. And I don't care. I'll have a great time, and I'll play, and I'll support the community as much as I have to, and I will beg and plead and buy Joey as many McRibs as I have to make sure that it's at the next Evo. And I don't know if it'll be, but hey, it's at Evo Japan, so go to Evo Japan if you can afford it.
I wish I could.
Yeah. Word. Well said, man. Cool, man.
Well soundtracked.
Yes. Yeah. You had the music and everything, man. That was great,
dude. I was ready. I was playing. I was like, hold up, let me just fucking open this.
All right. Oh snaps. We have Juan. Yo, what's up, man?
Yo, Juan. Last minute. Here comes a new challenger.
Juan, you there? Juan,
I think he's still setting up.
I know. All I see is just a dark abyss.
Okay, there's a mic symbol. There's a picture.
Okay.
Kukri
right.
has shown up as an icon.
All right. Okay. We got Kukri in the house.
Take your garbage ass clan back to Japan.
Ooh. Yo, the fire in Decimo. No, not Decimo. The fire in Juice Box that Decimo put in him.
No, Kukri's really fun though, and yeah, I hate that fucking character.
I know you do.
Kukri is on some shit, dude. First off, the guy is actually the FGC. If you think about it, have you read what that motherfucker says at you after he beats you? He's like, you're basically just trash. Like that man would get reported if he was like a League of Legends player. They'd be like, hey, I'm gonna report him. What a dick, you know, like that man is in chill debt. The man owes chill. That's how little chill he's got.
Oh man,
what the fuck?
Oh man, this is great, man. I want to thank all you guys for coming on. I want to thank Jenny for coming on. That was good. Man, I want to thank Net Battles, MTG Mexican for coming on. So why don't we give some shout outs and get up out here? So why don't we go back around the circle? Shout outs fast and as brief as you can. Temple Nut, are you there, sir?
Yes.
All right, cool. Got some shout outs to shoot up in the air?
Everyone who came here to join the podcast and everybody in the discussion. And I'm glad everyone feels so fervently about the KOF scene. We can find more constructive ways to fuel it in the future. Because when everything's like anything bad happens, everybody's around and you see the passion, find more constructive ways to challenge it into constructive projects for the future, to build the game and the scene. I would love that. That's it.
All right, great. Yo, thank you so much for coming on, man. I appreciate it.
It's really fun to be with you.
All right, Juicebox, shout outs.
Shout outs to everybody still playing the game. I mean, it's been a while since it came out. I guess, we're going to keep doing what we can do. All of us, try to throw more online events and all that. I'll do what I can with my stream. I've been, just experiencing a bunch of other fighting games in the meantime. But, KOF is still my absolute favorite. I'm going to be playing it a bit tonight, probably a bit tomorrow as well. But honestly, I felt really good just seeing all the replies to everything on Twitter today. I'm at work and I can't really do a whole lot except check on my phone once in a while in between what I'm doing. And it just felt really good to know that, I think if the same article were posted about KOF 13 maybe a couple of years ago, there wouldn't have been as much of a public, I guess, outcry of support. Maybe it would have just been 3 to 5 people saying, oh, this stuff is wrong. I feel as though now more people have experienced KOF, thanks to 14 existing and not sucking and other things like that. And so it was just really, really cool and really heartwarming to see that everybody, was more or less in agreement. These things aren't true, and here's all things that we can do. And, I'm just happy to be here, on the show tonight. I think it's really cool. I've seen you do this before and, didn't get a chance really to join until tonight. But really just shout outs to the whole KOF community. I think it's really, really awesome that we are more or less in cooperation with each other, and that we can all work together on future projects, and together we can do this thing. So shout outs to everybody.
Thank you so much for coming on, Juicebox, and you're gonna stream directly after we go off, or?
Oh hell yeah, I'm setting it up right now. OBS
right.
is open. I got my titles and stuff.
All right, cool. Why don't we do this, man? Why don't we just all raid your stream, man, from this show? So we're gonna.
I haven't figured out if I'm playing PC or PS4, so people got to let me know. But yeah, I'll start that up as soon as we're done here.
All right, cool. All right, great. All right. Well, Juan is muted. He didn't say anything. So, Black Rose, shout outs.
Shout outs to the people who continue to keep the flame, who keep the flag flying. Shout outs to Frosty Faustings. Hopefully I'm streaming KOF there again this year. Hopefully we avoid incidents such as Ghetto Instant Block. And last but not least, shout outs to all the people like me who are going to San Francisco on Saturday, Friday, whatever, to get their first hands on Geese at the Tekken World Tour Finals.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, that's funny. People were talking about the article, and they pointed out they use geese in the picture. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So there is one thing that I seriously have to ding the article on is it brings up the execution for one of Geese's counters, and the input that she gives is completely wrong.
I thought it was I thought it was going to be the super, because it's the counter wasn't it half circle forward, half circle back?
It's half circle. It's half circle forward kick. The one that she's referring to is half circle forward kick.
Right. Okay. I thought she was trying to refer to the counter super, and I was like, wait, hold on, what the?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I was looking at the command move. I'm like, no, this is just the regular. I was so yeah. All right, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, I know. Yeah, but thank you so much for coming on, Black Rose. Yeah, I did read the was it the tweet longer?
Yeah,
you did, and yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Well said, good points. All right, Reiki Kito, shout outs, sir.
I'd like to shout out the whole KOF community. I think that we've proven that we're a really strong and passionate community, and that we're capable of a lot of amazing things. We raised $1,000 in a week for an online tournament. We had an online tournament. 64 people showed up, or 64 people signed up, and even more people were on the waiting list. As a community, we're resilient. We're strong. And we can do whatever we set our minds to. We just have to pull together and do it. So, shout outs to the KOF community.
Great, man. And thank you for all the hard work that you have been putting in, and your dedication. And let's keep things going.
Couldn't do it without you.
Word. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Okay. Ken Himura, shout outs.
you know how to pronounce my name by now. Come on. Yeah, shout outs to everyone who streams KOF 14, because by streaming this game, we're exposing it, and by exposing it, we're getting new people to play. I mean, I know it's slow, but we're starting something that is a work in progress when it comes to growing our small community. But we're passionate too, and that's probably the best thing about the KOF community. Shout outs to, Pedro especially. Let's talk about this real quick. That online tournament was a hot mess. But he's keeping to do it. He's going to do it again. And that's awesome. So shout outs to him for putting up the good work and the hard fight for the right cause. Because that was, there was a lot of people mad. I don't know if you guys were there. And shout outs to, Juicebox, because without him, I'd probably still stuck at KOF. Not going to lie. And Dream Cancel, because without them, we wouldn't have a place to congregate in our Discord. So just shout outs to the community in general and everyone who, creates content or just streams, it could be from their PS4, just streams KOF 14, exposes the game. I know how hard it is to start up as a streamer. I remember when it was just me. I didn't have a bot. I didn't have a bot until recently, so I can't say it was just me and Moobot. It was just me streaming to no one, talking to myself, and doing that takes a lot of guts. But when the people come and you find the community and the people watch, it's a lot of fun. So shout outs to everyone who wants to help grow the scene.
All right, great. Well said. Thanks for the honest feedback on the online tournament. Because I can understand, man. Like running tournaments offline, online, it could be a doozy.
Yeah, it was definitely a doozy, but I have nothing but appreciation for it. It was fun to be in. I got to show off getting bodied by Dechimo. But hey, the bracket, I could show off in the bracket. It was probably my best tournament results for KOF with more than 50 people. But
All right, cool.
Trust me, we were there. We saw the whole thing. Start to finish.
All right, Andres, nothing excess. Shoutouts.
All right. Holy crap, where do I begin? Shoutouts. I mean, obviously, shoutouts to everyone who's still playing and who's out there just trying to get people to to keep going and keep going hard as they are. Shoutouts to all the tournaments that still host KOF and still believe in it. Shoutouts to all the locals still running KOF and still believing in it. We appreciate you, and you know it. Shoutouts to damn, I got like a long list. I'm gonna cut it short. Shoutouts to my cat because it's been mad patient with me talking while I'm holding it and petting it at the same time. By now, she would have already clawed me in the face. Shoutouts to the South Florida fighting game community and the people who still play KOF as a part of it, because it's not many of us, but we consistently were never the smallest game at Citrus Clash, despite people telling me that KOF was dead every time. KOF's dead while you're running it. KOF ain't dead, dog. We got a bracket of 16. You can't even get 9 people for fucking Guilty Gear. Leave me alone. All right? Stay home with that nonsense. Stay home with that nonsense. I ain't hearing it. So shout outs to everybody in Central, South, and North Florida that came out every time to prove to people that the dream was still alive. Shout outs to people who still trying to play. People who hit me up like, hey, yo, when are you hosting something? I'm like, dog, I don't have a tournament right now. And they're like, just open up your house, dog. You got a garage? We're down. Straight up, people are like, people hit me up to this day. They'll be like, yo, are you down to play after at FIU? I'm like, dog, I got a job. I got to go home to my basically wife. Like, I got to do stuff. And they're like, nah, you playing KOF today. I'm like, are you serious? Are you just holding me at gunpoint to play KOF? People still want to play, dude. People still want to play. And hopefully I got good news for all the people down here in South and Central Florida soon. Just basically keep an eye out on Miramar mix-up because something might be happening there. And shout outs to all of you who are still grinding, trying to get this to work out, man. Because I know that maybe we haven't had the easiest time, but it is through everyone's combined efforts that this will succeed. And honestly, shout outs to SNK, because SNK has been like, you guys want merch to hand out to your players? Have you emailed us yet? Because we'll send you merch. We'll send you all the fucking merch you want. They sent us merch for a local that had 16 people in it. To this day, I was just like, wait, what? They were like, yeah, here's t-shirts. Give them to your winners. Here's some postcards. They're sick. Here's all these like towels and all this other little cool paraphernalia. Hand it out. I was like, yes, sir. Right away, sir. Like, shout out to SNK for believing in the players. Because, and they'll like answer your email and everything. Like, what? I tried sending an email to Capcom over some random stuff. I don't think I ever got a reply. This was like a long time ago. This was even recently. Mm-hmm. Combo Fiend didn't have time for that. Combo Fiend had to deal with people yelling at him about functions. Shout outs to SNK doing the right thing and supporting all their players, man. I think that's the ultimate shout outs.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and nasty shout outs to Aruze. You know what you did, motherfuckers. That's a deep cut. I hope someone caught that. I hate all of you. I'm beating myself forever.
Yo,
Well, why don't you throw Miami Mike out there while you're at it?
Thanks for
I hate
coming.
you so much.
Yo, thanks for coming on, Andres, man. I really appreciate it, man.
Thanks for having me, dude.
Yeah, no
Hey,
problem.
there's one thing I wanted to add too. I forgot about. Shout out to Jenny Lou EX Top Dial for taking the time to express how she felt about the KOF scene in her article.
Hell yeah.
We had her on. You know, we had her at the discussion piece so that way we can fuel the conversation that way. And for her to come on here and kind of support her article, even though she knew there was a lot of like controversy about it. Excited because she did say that she was going to release a second piece about the first KOF article. So I'm definitely excited to read what it says.
Yeah, that took courage, man, because I know there's some people, they'll just hide under a rock, you know what I'm saying? You know, when they get met with any kind of, like, strong adversity, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, big shout-outs, dude. I was surprised. I was like, oh, snaps, here we go. Man, I was not expecting that, man. Whoa. So, yeah, that was good. That was great.
She was jumping into what could have been a pack of wolves with no fear, and that was, you know, you gotta respect that.
Well, I try to
shout
make
out also to everyone here. Yeah, real quick, shout out to everyone here for being decent human beings. I feel like that needs to be said more. Good shit on not being horrible.
Word.
We try.
All right. So shout outs on my end. Yes, big shout outs to all of you guys coming on. Again, big shout outs to Jenny for coming on. Man, yeah, this is a crazy episode. I want to give a shout out to all the viewers. I think we reached the most amount of viewers ever for this podcast. Thank all of you for sharing your thoughts in the chat. And I would like to run back down to promo and plugs real quick. So yes, get Dream Cancel t-shirts at dreamcancel.com/shop. Join our Discord. Play these lovely King of Fighters games on Steam. Shouts to Kings of Colorado.
Keiko.
Yep. Shouts to Rochinaji, and get the King of Details 14, the frame data app. And also has a bunch of resources for King of Fighters 14 for Android and for the iPhone devices. Very, very nice. Buy this game for PS4. Check out the King of Fighters Reddit. Buy the King of Fighters 14 Burn the Fight Premium Edition if you want. Shout out to Game Goons. They will be streaming tomorrow, if I clearly recall. Streaming KOF, talking about KOF and all the current affairs and whatnot. Dream Cancel King of Fighters 14 Party Battle Mode is going down November 12th on Sunday, 5 p.m. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to be in voice chat on Discord, and that's always fun. Got to make sure that we got someone for the PS3. I'm going to run things on the PS4 side, but for PC, for Steam players. So if there's someone that would like to volunteer to run a lobby for the Steam players for King of Fighters 14 for Party Battle Mode this Sunday, let me know. We could take more than one. We could take two. So if you want to stream, feel free. Shouts to Kick Punch Block. Shouts to the King of Fighters 14 B&B combos guide that we have on Google Docs. Very easy combos for beginners. Nothing too difficult. Shouts to the frame data that it's on the King of Data app. Shouts to SNK for their support program. Like Andres said, you just have to hit them up and they'll send you a bag of swags to distribute. The
swag is mad nice. Like the t-shirts are actually lit. I'm
actually wearing it right now, man. The 14 shirt.
Yeah, I gotta lose a little bit of weight again so I can put on my shirt. A little too small. I got too fat, dude. Tacos are legit. What can I tell you?
Hey, you know what? I kept the bag, man. Like at first I was gonna throw away the bag, but like no, I'm keeping the bag because it has a little bit of art. Yeah, I mean, keep the bag. The bag is nice.
Hell yeah.
Okay, I just reminded people of the damage values in 14. You can find it in our wiki too.
Shout outs to Chang again. 1200. Yo, everyone stay mad that Chang is the biggest and strongest.
That's a lot of life.
He's got to be to carry around that iron wrecking ball of his.
Low tier.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Doc, he's not low tier. Have you not seen the tier list from Brazil? Are you serious?
That's the one I follow to a T.
Yo, shout outs to this character. Anyone want to like name her or give her a name?
I forgot. Her name was mentioned. They said her name somewhere.
Oh, really?
I mean, her name obviously, if you can read it, that her name is there. But they did
in Arabic in the top right corner.
Yeah, but they did state her name. She's hella sick.
Okay.
I want to play her. She looks like she'd be at least as annoying as Shermie.
Or Kukri.
Nah, Shermie. I feel like she's gonna be a cheap zoner. She got that big thing like that's like a mouth. I bet she's gonna summon it like Gain Thunder. It'll be awesome.
Oh, she'll be like Zato.
Yeah, I was
Oh
say
my,
that.
nah, I don't want to have to negative edge to do my input.
All right, shouts to Brooklyn Video Games for running their O2 tournaments, King of Fighters 2002 tournaments. The next one is Saturday, November 11th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time as a $500 bonus pot payout to top 3.
So a little bit of intel on this one, actually. Because I was talking with Arturo, and I also was talking about one of the guys who works at Brooklyn Video Games while they were up here for Red Bull Battle or Proving Grounds. So apparently, so Brooklyn Video Games is a venue that is across the street, apparently, from New York Next Level, and the main purpose of the shop is basically they're the hub for RGB, which is basically a way of getting uncompressed video signal out of a lot of the old gen stuff. And so they probably have the best video setup for the game and for streaming, hands down, for a lot of the old games. So KOF, ST, all that other jazz. But a lot of the old man games go down at that joint. And so from what they've been telling me, there's been a bit of an arms race amongst a number of the Peruvians there. I guess they've been coming out left and right trying to one-up each other. So that tournament's going to be interesting to watch just for that alone. And then you have your standard New York fare.
Wow, that's crazy, man. It feels like a Latin American tournament in USA. Well, not.
Yeah, actually, Arturo was calling out the Asians and a couple of the others, like, "Where are you guys at? Come on!"
Right. That's crazy, man. So yeah, big shout outs, man. That's so good to see.
The gauntlet getting thrown down. Shit.
All right, let's keep things going. The Las Vegas Championship going down December 2nd. 1K bonus pot. Check that out. This tournament going down maybe in Hong Kong with the Josh, what does that look like to you in the background? I know you probably heard like
that is definitely Evo.
Okay.
I can tell because one, the ground seating arrangement, and two, that looks like Marvel up on the screen.
Wow.
But that's definitely the Evo stage.
Wow. Damn. Okay. All right. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research on this tournament. All I saw was like a tweet, and then everything else was in.
It kind of does look like Marvel.
Wow. And I hope that the venue is gonna be as big as I don't know. I mean, it'll kind of be kind of whack if it was just like inside of a small store, and you know.
It's gonna be in some bar.
Damn. All right, let's quit.
It's gonna be in a 21 and up bar.
Yeah, I know. Oh man. All right, let's keep things going with NEC. Yo, this is going down, man. Hey, is this going to be in Pennsylvania, or King of Prussia, or where exactly is NEC going to be this year?
I'm pretty sure NEC's in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
In Philadelphia,
it's like right outside. It's like right outside Philadelphia. It's in King of Prussia. So
King of Prussia,
it's
yeah.
very, very close near the airport. So if you're traveling from like the airport, it'll take you near there or directly there.
Right.
So like most tournaments, they stay there in the city, but like for like Chicago, for Combo Breaker, it's in St. Charles. So it's not like 2 hours away like it is for St. Charles. It's literally like a shuttle away.
Right. Okay. All right, cool. All right. And what else? We have Frosty Faustings, excuse me. 10, January 19th, 20th.
So you're gonna have KOF this year?
They should.
I heard we're running like 30 some odd games again, but not all of them were getting stream time like last year.
Okay.
So yeah.
Can I just say something funny about Frosty Faustings 9? I thought it was so funny that Catherine had a bigger following than Mortal Kombat. I just wanted to say that. I'm sorry.
I think a fair amount of people like and appreciate that game, man. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, you never know. I mean, plus it's probably a regional thing too. So
yeah, probably.
No, they've definitely made it one of those things where it's like it was the tournament to show up for. And I think that's something that needs to be said, you know, in the event that say, KOF doesn't make it to EVO is you have to pick and choose, okay, if we're not going to get our thing featured, where can we do it? And where can we make our most damage? And that's where things like Combo Breaker and NEC come into play, venues that have treated the KOF community pretty well.
Right.
So Frosty's has been that for Catherine. How can we take away from that?
I wasn't making fun of it. I just thought it was funny. Like, I told my local community that, and they were mad because there were a bunch of Mortal Kombat players. So I enjoyed it. I loved Frosty Faustings 9. Wow.
All right. All right. So yeah, that's about it. Again, I got to thank everyone for coming on. I want to thank all the viewers. Stream Masters. Want to thank all the comments that are going to be in the YouTube comment section, and yeah, that's really about it. So we're still working on the King of Fighters 14 wiki. We have the Google Docs always ready for submissions. So if anyone wants to work on anything, just let me know, because I know that. You know, it could be kind of hard to find or to say get information because there's a lot of blank pages, but things are coming along nicely. And yeah, so Juicebox should be streaming now if I see that.
He started Steam Edition. I did see that.
Okay. All right, cool. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hop over there.
Great.
And watch him play, probably challenge him. And I think that's...
You have a Twitch.com/host him.
Yeah. I'm going to pop the URL in the chat. So, yeah, everybody, go over to Juicebox's channel. And, yeah, that's about it. I do know there are some things that I kind of would like to say, but it's not coming to mind right now. It's getting kind of late. So, I'm just going to bid everyone farewell. Next episode, I'm going to try to do these as often as I can. I have been kind of busy, but if anyone has any other topic ideas or even interviews, I want to do some interviews with some players, you know, that play and stream KOF. They're a little less known next to some more, well-known players. So if anyone has any ideas, just please let me know. That way we can kind of keep the show going. Thank you all for following. Thank you all for subscribing. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks again. So, man, it's a good show. So I just want to let everybody know. Thank you very much for supporting us. We're going to be back as soon as we can. And until next time, everyone, keep playing KOF, keep having fun, stay in the light, and peace.
Goodbye.
Peace.